Hey, we're live. Look at that. Welcome to the Root Winter Tournament, Round 2, Game 11. My name is Guerric. As you can see on the other side of the screen, joining me today from Woodland War Machine, we have Waterman.
Hello, nice to see you, Garrick.
Nice to have you. We have a stacked cast of competitors today. Whoopsie. They are none other than Ccoyote. Say hello, please.
This is where you
Hi.
say
How's it going?
Trenzalore,
Hi.
Aaron,
howdy.
and Decoy.
Hey, everybody.
Thank you so much for those hellos. You have been dealt a very cursed draft. I'm sorry. You're stuck with it. But y'all know what to do. Y'all know where to find me. So good luck. Have fun. I'm going to go on mute and let y'all get started. All right.
It's definitely not sorry.
I think I'm in commentator land. Can you hear me, Waterman?
Yes, I can. Garrick, welcome to Commentator Land.
Thank you.
We already have the first decision of our
Alliance
setup
it is.
today. Ccoyote choosing the lake map of all things to get us started on.
Yeah, that naughty guy picked it before we started. But lake map, which is very interesting. I think this is the first time in round 2 we've gotten lake map.
Yeah, it's been all mountain, well, the other three maps, really.
I don't like cats in third seat. It never goes well. I was gonna go
Like you said,
alliance.
this draft is a bit cursed, right?
It's very
a lot of
cursed.
low reach factions plus the cats.
Coyote get cats in first seat.
This
Although I
is
can't help but think that the cats may have some
Right.
ambient advantage from being the sole red faction.
I mean, I guess it's the question of can they outrace
Planning on going lizards, cats.
in such a situation? And I don't know, maybe they can. I'm worried lizards could just hole up and score a bunch, you know?
True, or that the alliance can get out of hand with the limited action economy of the cats.
Yeah.
To act before me too.
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like we may see,
If your guts
after the
don't
cats
go
get picked,
cats.
we may see a Corvid
Do you want to
kind of
start fighting
aggressive
with
style
this,
counter
this
pick.
early?
That's my prediction.
The fun thing about Corvids is they're actually locked in this draft, which is so rare in the tournament version of the ad set draft. We only lock a faction if there's a single red faction. So this is the rare case where that's actually happened.
Cats.
The more people that pass on the cats, the stronger the cats get too, which that's
Right.
an interesting dynamic in this draft.
So yeah, we're gonna go cats.
Oh,
Okay.
There you
we
go.
unlocking the
Already
Corvids.
analyzing how bad that is right now, but we'll go with it.
No, I think that's a great pick. I think that's excellent. Also, getting to choose your homeland this early
yeah.
I keep
in setup is a
forgetting to
gigantic
reset
advantage.
the
What do you think?
shift
Top
button, so I can
right
just put them
corner?
all in a group and lay them down one by one.
I typically favor the top right
I forget to-
corner as a setup for the cats, but top left is pretty decent
Need one more.
as well. Looking at these clearing suits, I'd probably like the top right for a potential mouse dom play.
I was just going to say the cluster of mouse clearings up there may lend itself to an early cat's dominance play. The race to 10 points and pop dominance immediately strategy comes to mind.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be our first dominance win of the tournament.
It would be.
And I
Um,
feel like the cats might be in a decent position to do it, especially if people overlook the Corvids.
But these guys are homelands. What's the best way to do this?
And with ad set too, the cats definitely get a big advantage. They can choose those three connected clearings, and you can actually reach the lake with one of those homelands. Big
Mhm.
advantage, kind of central starting position. And I like this, choosing that top choke point.
Yeah, it's basically the
Here.
ooh, interesting.
Okay, very aggressive deployment.
Yeah.
I guess what's the technical order? Just so I do this already. Is it keep first or buildings? Keeps first. Okay. Doesn't really matter.
Keep is going to be important in this with the alliance in the game. Choosing where to
We'll put
split the board. Yeah, he's kind of torn between these two, I guess.
I mean, it's a tough
No?
decision because there's
then we're gonna put sawmill in
the centralization of power with that lake edge, but of course that's vulnerable to any sort of riverfront assault. And then there's of course the choke points on either side, which protect the territory from land-based assault. So
Right.
I mean, there's merits to every decision there.
Tricky decisions here, but I think overall I like the shape of the cat's deployment here. Again, just a bit of an ambient advantage being the only red faction. especially with cats in every clearing, will have just a little bit of influence over everyone's lives in the beginning portion of this game.
Lose with the Crafting Vagabond the first game, lose with the Crafting Vagabond second game.
The one thing I was maybe half considering is if you put the keep central, like on the lake, then every time you field hospitals, those cats are very central.
Yes.
And have an easier time kind of spreading out, or maybe even taking the ferry or something like that. But I think overall this is a very promising setup. And we have a Tinker pick.
Great pick for cats, just by virtue of ruins getting opened up and adding more slots to the
very much so.
cat's territory.
And 2 homeland clearings containing ruins. Both of the 3 building slot clearings on the map. And that last
Just do it.
3 building slot over in the top left, or second last, just a single march away. I'm sorry, am I rooting for the cats too much already?
Gotcha.
Is the cats board weirdly horizontal for anyone else?
It'll fix itself when we all leave and come back.
Yeah, it looks normal to me.
Okay, so Guerric, of the Vagabond classes, given the new kind of rule set with Despot Infamy, kind of depowering the more fighty Vagabonds in a general sense, how do you rank the Tinker?
I mean, Tinker is still good because crafting is always good. Oh my, no lizards.
Thank goodness.
Not to get too distracted.
Yeah, we have a Corvid's pick. I love it.
Yeah, I mean,
Definitely
crafting
a
is always
dynamic
good.
choice.
Day labor is always good. So, I mean, all the things that make Tinker good are still true. The big thing, of course, is still just that T limitation has made any Vagabond that isn't Thief a little bit worse. But, you know, being a crafting Vagabond means that Tinker is still pretty top tier, I would think.
Yeah, gonna have an impact on the game for sure. And this Corvid's pick, I mean, what do you make of it, Guerric?
Yes.
It's, you know, it's an interesting one. I almost said something earlier in the draft when I mentioned how lizards could potentially outrace. I mean, there's a world where Corvids get their own corner, are left alone, and outrace, you know, without enough policing strength to stop them.
Right, this could really distort the course of the game big time. Although I do think that our mouse dominance for the cats just got slightly more possible.
Are people leaving too soon?
Too early.
Oh, yeah, hold on. Let me remind them.
Trenzelore, don't come back until we say to come.
No, actually, it's going to screw up the draft if you're not in the seat. So come back in. I'll assign you the seat, and then we can hit done.
I just want to point out some fun comments in the chat so far. Colonel Cabbage 1 pointing out that this is a high-stress game for the cats, fighting fires everywhere. Yeah, I think it is going to be kind of a whack-a-mole situation for that faction this game. You know, they've got presence everywhere, but that doesn't mean that they can control the board necessarily. It's just that limited action economy.
Mm-hmm. And they are almost definitely going to get taxed a card by the Corvids, because that's almost always an extort, that face-down plot, you know?
Definitely. And going after them in turn order means they will have no choice in the matter.
Yep.
Which could be pretty devastating to that opening play if they manage to rob the right card.
Exactly.
I can't help but think that the Corvids are just like a more active choice than the lizards in this type of setup. You know, the lizards may have been more likely to be left alone, but don't forget, we also have Woodland Alliance in the game, and the dynamic they have with the lizards is, in a word, unhealthy. They just tend to ruin each other's game, and if they get snarled up, and that would be much to the liking of the other two factions here. It's going to be interesting. At least the Corvids can help police the Vagabond a little bit as well, given that their movement is so free.
Yeah, this is really going to be an interesting dynamic.
I do want to note that we do have a Corvid warrior starting in the bottom right, so a turn 1 fairy is looking more and more likely.
It is. Real quick, I need that announcement. Hey, could somebody hit start recording on the thing for me?
What is the multi-state VP marker?
It is the white one.
All right. Oh, I see.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Stuff by Rudy. The Woodland Alliance and Lizards are definitely a bad romance for sure.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it.
I'm back.
Good luck.
You want my card?
Good luck.
I am gonna want your card. But I am extorting you.
Man, that's not nice.
OS Demonic, the faction that was left out was the Lizards, as you may have picked up from the chat. And just a quick shout out, we've got a couple of game winners from this very weekend in the chat here, including Squidmark,
You're
who
joking.
won a game with the Cats, and Lily G, winning with the
Yeah.
Eerie Dynasties.
Well,
Never trust Coyote.
Uh-oh. It sounds like the worst possible thing that could happen did happen. The Corvids took whatever card Aaron wanted.
That's gonna be the slogan of this game.
Yeah, that's going to be rough.
Nah, I'm just joking.
Let's see what I want to do.
People in chat
Or
were
maybe be
asking.
hoping for a turn 1 age from the Vagabond to replace whatever card that was.
That would be nice.
Oh, Over the Morrow, congratulations on your victory as well. That was with the Duchy on Winter Map, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, people were asking for player records, and let me tell you, we have two winners. Ccoyote and Trenzelore both won their round 1 game. And this is also a rematch between Trenzelore and Decoy.
I only get 3 in Fox, but that's still okay.
So we have a potential of 3 people advancing to round 3.
Yeah, this could be a big moment for the tournament lives of several players
For
here.
my actions,
Do you think it changes the way that players approach the game if they are sitting comfortably on a win in this double elimination format?
I think it probably does subtly. I haven't, heavily advertised other players' information, so if you're not closely tracking games, you may not be personally aware of the other players' records. But I think if you are, it certainly is something that could factor into your decision making.
Yes, very much so. And we have our first ferry trip on the lake map, sailing that crow right across the water. Of course, the ferry, you can take it once per turn to move across the lake, and you get to draw a card as well. I would say control of the ferry is one of the most important kind of map presency things that you have in the lake map.
Absolutely.
And
I'll go ahead.
the card advantage that results is definitely not negligible. So we may be looking at the Cats using a march action on turn 1 to try and replace that early lost card.
That's right. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. I don't draw, and yeah, that's good.
Oh, Mate Core, thank you so much for the 100 bits.
All right, nothing to refresh. We'll slip, I think, into here.
Makor, a notable Root Digital streamer. Welcome to the chat. Nice to see you.
How do you feel about that slip location?
I tend to find starting in the middle of the circuit to be 1 turn less optimal.
Right. That
For
was
the
my concern
Vagabond?
here. Typically, we see the Vagabond slip into that, where the keep is and work their way around that way. This is kind of an odd
8 cats.
I
place to
think
start.
it's because of the age, probably the
Probably.
suit of the card.
If I had a bird card, I would give it to you, but I do not.
Granitap pointing out that crafting tea
take
on
this
turn 1 is now
And
possible,
cards.
given that he's in a mouse
Yep, you
clearing.
can even craft
But
it for me.
would that not paint the
I
biggest
don't know
target
about
in the
that.
world on that Tinker?
I mean, does the value outweigh the heat? There's the T.
There it is. Oh, Granitap, your dark prediction has come true. We have
Here.
a Tinker with tea on
That's what
turn
4 points
1.
total for you.
It gets
Oh, yeah, I've
not much more cursed than this. Although I do want to point out, at last year's winter tournament,
You don't have to.
Guerric, I played the Tinker on the lake map. And on turn 1, I crafted a hammer and then used that hammer to craft a tea. And I never left the forest again.
Well, the meta is slightly different this year, so we might not perhaps see a repeat of that, but that is
Stay here and hang out.
That is a pretty typical experience what you had there, if with an opening like that.
Yeah.
All right, I get
But yeah,
one
great turn one from the
wood
Tinker.
at
Just
my
very much
sawmill.
set up for future
Oops,
success
sorry,
here.
did that grab like more than one? There we go. Okay, just one.
This already
Goes
feels like
back.
it's too much for the cats to handle, right?
So
Right. I mean, barely anything has happened, and already it feels like cats are slightly on their back foot here.
Absolutely.
Let's see. First, yeah, we'll do that, and then that. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to build first, taking this wood, building a sawmill. Why does it keep dropping stuff? There we go. We're gonna build this here.
Ooh.
Oh,
For a point.
building the sawmill in the same clearing with the keep. Generally, I think, Guerric, you and I are both advocates of trying to build away from
Yep.
the center and then kind of work your way back in over time.
Huge advocate. I talk all the time about how building slots are a resource, a very finite one that you need to preserve and use optimally. And that typically requires starting at the edges of your quote-unquote territory and backfilling from there. And the most safe spot of all is almost always the keep slot. So that especially feels like an interesting choice to put it there.
Yeah, feels a little bit safe. Maybe looking ahead to some kind of Fox overwork situation. Jerome Curry pointing out in the chat that this could be part of a strategy to race to 10 points.
That's very possible.
And that while that is technically possible, I think it would require a bird card or two to really make it worth its while.
I still just think I would prefer to have seen the sawmill go in that 2-slot mouse clearing with no building in it at the moment. That's up in their corner, because it decentralizes the sawmills a little bit. It leaves room for recruiters in places as needed, or just other things as needed.
Put those guys there to draw a card.
I don't know, unless the plan is just go all recruiters in those mouse clearings.
Card.
Yeah, I think that would be the dominance play, right? Just spam recruiters in the mouse clearings. But okay, he's setting up martial law in the bottom right. Getting that fairy card for the turn.
Which obviously I will. But actually, yeah, I could have done that different. Oh well.
Yeah, I tend to think going for the card draw initially seems gives you the most options at least.
Another march.
Oh, double march.
Lake map is always so awkward because it incentivizes the cats to march, when on pretty much any other map, that's something they try to avoid doing if they don't have to,
Right.
And I think it can probably be a trap in some cases.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think with this march, maybe trying to set up some martial law would be a good imperative. I'm kind of having an eye on that top center clearing.
For those of you
dragging a cat over that way.
Internet problems.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Oh my, the 999 ping.
Here's the ping.
Well, at least the ping is not over 9,000 just yet. And Riley, thank you so much. Cheers to you.
Looks like we're coming back down. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I need to turn off that chat box behind you.
What? Okay. Oh boy. Maybe not.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, I saw this suggestion in the chat, but I think it would be quite a shame if the Corvids managed to steal the mouse dominance card from the paws of the cat.
Oh, great.
On their turn 1 extortion.
This usually happens, then I join and I'm okay for a while.
AA run, I will say surprisingly strong internet for
pass this turn around,
playing on the moon.
Or the data tracking.
Griffin X Hawk, I think it's a fair point. Let's try and speculate for a second. Is this going to be a very short game or an incredibly drawn out long game? What do you think, Eric?
Oh gosh, it feels slightly too soon to tell until we see how Wooden Alliance starts.
So we're gonna take,
because they're probably going to set the pace of the game in a big way.
Yeah.
this
Hey,
guy over here.
I'm leaning towards slow
I
though.
don't like that necessarily.
Especially with this kind of
I think that's where we
sandbaggy,
go. Slow,
movement-heavy
moving
strategy
where I
from the
draw
cats
one
early
card,
on.
Mm-hmm.
and
And a
I
lot
think
of
that's aimed at trying to disrupt any plans the
Well,
Alliance has for breaking out. Because
you know,
imagine that the Alliance starts in this
clear
mouse cluster
makes
here. They're never leaving that
spend
area
as much
if they
Right.
start there. So yeah, kind of doing a good job to squeeze them onto the other side of the board.
well,
Okay,
there's
we've
two of the
seen
dom cards.
half of the dominance cards hitting the discard pile.
And then I'm going to, I think, probably just mobilize everything. I think.
Everyone already outraged at the Alliance spreading sympathy. You know, they have to do it. That's how they score.
No, the Wooden Alliance is not allowed to play the game.
Bold move.
Everyone knows it's poor etiquette to spread sympathy.
One card.
Agreed. Although I hope our Alliance player remembers to score the points for that sympathy.
Okay. What do you make of all this?
well, I'm thinking
It's so funny how easy it is to forget to score
turns
points.
help set back both the
Yeah.
Tinker
People just
and
like
Very
playing
much.
Root. They don't want to stop playing Root.
Can you not do that?
Is that,
because
Andrew?
my cards are lining up where I could take out both sympathy. It would probably hurt a lot more than I'd like it to, but I'd be able to do that, or I can swing at the Tinker, depending on where he
You
is.
want to take out both
Policing
sympathy.
at this level already.
You can let it go. Like, you should both just build your engines.
You're just
Oh,
handing the
yeah.
win to Coyote if you spend your turn policing me.
Okay, first off, I'm Crows.
That's fair.
Okay, but crows are basically the red faction of this game because crows will do more battles than cats this game.
Ooh, early prediction from Trenzelore.
I put my money there too.
Saying that the Crows are going to be taking a more active role. And I think we mentioned that as well, right? A pretty dynamic pick.
Right. I mean,
Don't do that.
there was a period where people were really seriously playing Corvids as a counterinsurgent style faction. You know, Marcus the Cat wrote up a guide about it, and
The plot.
it's a very valid approach to the faction.
Right.
That's why
I mean, we
I'm
might
trying
see
to
a sort of
tell you
hybrid
which document
alliance
it
of the
is.
strong here with Cats and Corvids. Cats might say,
Right.
hey, Tinker's in my territory. I'll take care
I
of
mean,
punching if you suppress the alliance.
This is I'm gonna do everything I can to have martial law wherever I am. That'll at least help.
The way you probably win this game is that I accidentally overfeed you and you force Coyote to come hit me instead of plotting.
That is certainly something that could happen.
That's correct, Matecore.
Oh.
It is the most fair
Oh,
to just intentionally not catch anything rather than selectively catch what we're able to.
You know, Tinker with a first turn.
It can be quite difficult to catch everything in a game,
Mhm.
and allowing players
It's a
to
little concerning.
keep track, at least in this type of format,
It's more
is the
concerning
most
than
sustainable option.
Yeah.
He can get the other T on his turn too with
it
day
should be at
labor.
one point.
Yeah, until we get like FIDE arbiters for root or something like that.
I'm not actually going to do that though, because
Yeah.
kind of
Also, I couldn't drink wine and watch a game of root if I had to professionally be there to guide the rules or whatever, right?
Be able to.
I do want to point out I
A
liked
whole lot of card draw going on.
Decoy's table talk is
Alliance
truly
looking at
fantastic right now.
two bases.
Very publicly
Yeah.
pitching the table
All right,
that
well,
the way the Cats win is by
what I'm going to do
relying on Ccoyote to
is
pick up the slack in terms of
I'll
policing
start
at the
Mhm.
detriment of his own points
recruiting
engine.
in
Just trying to like find those cracks in the potential budding alliance here. I love it.
It feels a little bit like a Mexican standoff of table talk right now. Everybody's a little cagey. Everybody's trying to throw a little bit of heat at who they think is going to be their personal problem, but nobody's quite buying it yet.
and I would like
Yeah, no one's biting for
Mhm.
sure.
My first
And we
action.
do have a rabbit ambush hitting the discard pile as our recruit for the Corvids.
heck yeah, that's awesome.
Another trip on the ferry.
And apparently it was a good card. See, Coyote said, heck yeah.
Battle here for my next action.
All right,
Prince
weird.
of Bang.
Fantastic.
Go ahead.
I will
This
take-
is a 2020 Pinot Noir from the Willamette Valley in Oregon.
I was going to point out, Corvids are beginning the cleanup process of sympathy.
That's right.
Do we see the full commitment?
2 more, so I should.
Because it's much more effective if you actually wipe the sympathy.
The Alliance is at their supporter cap, so this would be a free sympathy.
Right, exactly.
But they do need to plot, so they are just going to
Put this.
concentrate the forces and do some plotting instead.
And that was 4 actions, so I don't.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, honestly, the Corvids need every point that they can get. And so early on, that sympathy is a nice way to kind of
refresh everything.
pick up some of those spare points they need to be competitive later on.
Mm-hmm. So where does the Tinker go? Does the Tinker avoid the keep to deny a building slot?
I think I'm asking to get hit anyway.
I mean, Aaron has been talking about attacking the Tinker, so that those two things together could be motivation to go elsewhere.
Yeah, suggesting, hey, just get out of my territory. Become the crow's problem for the next couple turns.
It does appear that's what we're doing.
Yep.
Boot. Move to here.
Lepak, first sympathy does not score as of third printing of root.
Hammer.
Oh, the hammer.
Picking up the hammer. Okay.
Can we hit the VB now? Is it okay?
Despot infamy.
So that's a point.
Yeah, Vagabond already out to a pretty strong lead as well. You gotta think that makes him a big target.
I mean, the very nice thing about Despot Infamy is it allows you to play much more reactively to the Vagabond. So even if the table does see that Tinker is becoming a threat, there's less worry of the burst finishes that Vagabond is normally capable of, so they can take a little bit more time to do their policing. But not too much more time. They still should do it at some point.
Yes, and we do see that beaver racing across the lake here on the fair, drawing another card, landing in a pretty heavy cat garrison there.
I can't help with the policing. I can at least point out the problems that exist.
Understandable.
But we're the voice of the woodland.
Is there anything else I can do here? No.
Pliskin identifying a potential pathway that the Tinker could take to generate a ton of points,
right? And then I got one
which
for
is
exploring, one for crafting. So
aiding players until you become allied and just avoiding getting a sword at all.
Mm-hmm.
That way there's
even gave you
no
back the raft.
chance of ever becoming hostile. And yes, that strategy is a source of a ton of points later on. But I feel like in this mix, if the lizards were in the game, that would be maybe slightly more possible. But with Corvids and cats
now,
ready to go, I'm not sure how likely it is that we're going to see that strategy.
let's see. I'm not going to craft anything, I don't think. We are going to spend those 2 wood to build first. We're going to build. Did I pick up both of them? Yeah. We're going to build a sawmill up here for 2 points. I'm sorry. No, we're going to put that down here. No. Where do I want this? I don't even know. Actually, I think we will put it over.
All right. I mean, this is definitely a big decision.
It's a very big decision.
For 2 points. Did I get those already? Yeah. We'll go ahead. Second action, we will.
It does make me question that first sawmill placement again, though.
Overwork.
Yeah, seemed a bit of a timid placement for that first sawmill for sure. But we are going to have the overwork coming in.
With that overwork, we're going to build a recruiter.
Okay.
Getting this Tinker.
I still plan to.
Okay.
Point.
And let's see if we have the bird card coming out.
Kick the can down the road. Just like make.
No, I have to hit the Tinker immediately. Very important.
On the other side of the board.
Everyone. Yeah.
Griffin Hawk, I will point out that there are no favor cards in this game as we're using the Exiles and Partisans deck.
Rabbit ambushes out to recruit last turn.
Right, but there's still 2 birds floating around somewhere.
Yes, which I personally celebrate because the favor cards are.
Spend this
I mean,
to get
it definitely warps the game in a way, right?
In a big way. Yes. I know some
And
people
we
are
do have the
fans of
bird
favor
card.
cards, but they're wrong and they should feel bad.
Defenseless right now.
So Cat's gaining a fourth action for this turn. Will they spend it attacking the Vagabond?
right. Well, the problem
This
the
is a
problem
Tinker with a
becomes they're
T,
here with a Sawmill and a Recruiter, but
heavily in the lead. Should be attacked,
If
I
I
think.
attack the Tinker, will you not get me here, Corvids? Because I can't afford to do both.
Yeah, I'll give you a turn there.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay,
Don't
we
worry,
are seeing a
the
sort
whole
of
thing not to
hybrid
just start
alliance
getting
of the
on
strong
Justin.
right now.
Oh well.
Corvids and Cats working together to
We will go
suppress
ahead
the
and battle the
insurgents.
Tinker there for our action.
It's fun to see.
All right, last chance. Please reconsider. No,
No, go ahead,
All right.
ambush me.
No ambush.
Ooh, okay, no ambush. And he does have the full 3. Tinker is undefended. He is going to deal all 4 hits.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Whoops.
Promise, Coyote.
that is a shattering attack
love
from the Cats. Sending 4 of those items into that damaged
All
box, just
I have a
leaving the
feeling
2
it's not gonna
hammers
do much in the long run, but we'll see.
to hopefully
Says
get
the
those
2 hammers.
items repaired up for the next turn. But
Even, draw a card.
yeah, that's a significant amount of damage.
All right.
I mean, that very well might be a loss of turn for the Tinker
That I was left.
going to the
Yeah.
forest.
Bunny clearing.
It's right on the edge. And I mean, look at the Tinker's prospects for the other 2 ruins, right? It's
Right.
the Corvids have a couple warriors, the Cats have a couple warriors. It's not going to be easy to get out unscathed. And we have our first revolt. The alliance is on the map, situated at the far left, where they belong, in that rabbit clearing.
That is one of the sort of choke points of the maps. That is a good place for them to be.
Bird card.
Yep. All movement that goes through the left side of the map
For
is
1
going to
point.
incur a cost of a card.
And then I will spend.
And here comes the
these 2
spread.
points
They are getting out there on the map.
to
I think this is a promising start from the
move
alliance.
this mouse clearing.
Yep, and they are electing to actively harass the Cats, which is a great way to get more outrage.
Yeah. Ooh, spending the extra card to spread sympathy into that clearing with martial law. That is not what the Cats want to see in this opening phase of the game.
What they do want to see is that Mouse Dom that was just spent.
It hits the discard pile. That is the hot potato card right there.
Well, certainly chat wants to see it. We'll see if Cat wants to see it.
I think the discard pile looks fine.
And with this kind of rather unusual build order from the Cats, right? Building the sawmill, 2 sawmills early on and lagging a bit behind in terms of recruiters. I think we're going to see another recruiter build in a mouse clearing, followed up with a battle against that sympathy. And they are well on their way to 10 points.
Yep.
Now, if they manage to craft anything,
Coyote,
I think
Still muted.
that pushes the likelihood of a dominance victory
I
a
recruited
little
money.
bit higher, or at least a
I
dominance
myself
attempt.
about how many people are left in my supply.
Corvids might have a few too many warriors to contend
Like I
with.
said, Corvids are the real red faction this game.
The real dominance play might be mid-game once Cats get some recruiters online and have had a few turns to actually use them.
Yeah. But if they were really thinking about this dominance play early on, I guess I would have preferred to see the keep in a mouse clearing, right?
Right. That if we were actively going for the mouse dom, the keep probably should have been on either the lake mouse or the mouse choke point as opposed to the fox choke point.
Yeah. Stuff by Rudy already wanting to gamble. We are a scant 36 minutes into this stream, and I think Guerric, what do you say? Should we do a vote? Will mouse dominance happen?
I don't actually think Dom is going to happen at this rate. I don't think it's worth getting chat's hopes up.
Okay, that is fair. That is fair. But we see you. We see that you're frothing at the mouth, and I'm here for it.
Plot here.
And I'm not.
All right. Corvid's electing not to flip that plot in the top left, doing a bit of point shading, as it were, trying to keep themselves under the radar, linger at the back of the pack.
I mean,
seen
it's
that from game to game is a pretty effective strategy.
right. I was going to say it's pretty traditional Corvid play to leave as many plots face down as you can, because that makes exposure more difficult. It sandbags so that you're not bursting ahead until you're really bursting ahead.
As you can see,
It keeps embedded agents valuable as long as possible, active as long as possible. It's just all around a solid way to utilize plots.
Maybe able to guess one.
And for those of you out there who are looking at that sympathy sitting in that rabbit clearing where the Corvids have a plot, don't fear. The Alliance already has the rabbit base on the map. There is no threat of revolt there.
I feel
They
like I should
can
know
peacefully
that, but
coexist for
I
the time
don't.
being.
I don't think he does it randomly.
Okay.
Well, it
If
still
you
doesn't
do it-
really help know what this one is.
I will tell you this. I forget what they are as soon as they go down.
If you guess, I don't know what you're planning on doing, spreading sympathy, but if you do go up into this fox clearing, I can throw a guess with it as well. I don't have any bunny cards though,
Okay.
so I wouldn't be able to do this one.
Yeah, depending on the state of things, I only have one supporter right now. So
Or
I
if the
can't.
tinker goes and guesses like this one here, I don't know what he's
Yeah.
doing.
I don't know.
All right, the
Then
table already trying to focus on how to
I
stop the
could, but I don't
Corvids.
particularly want to give them these cards. They're all kind of really bad.
It's especially
it's
funny
the-
hearing it from Aaron, who was, fast friends with Corvids just a minute ago.
Clearings and
Sure.
I don't have any bunny cards, so I can only do one of the 3 fox ones, preferably one of the 2 that I'm already in.
I think I can get up into this one, but I might just try guessing this one. We'll see.
Fair enough. Unfortunately, guessing may not be enough either.
Yeah,
You may just get it wrong and feed him cards.
gotta be a really lucky guess.
Yeah, hard to tell who's coming out ahead in terms of the table talk here. I would say Decoy is putting in a valiant effort, but I think the reality of Tinker with T is going to kind of nullify any table talk efforts to deflect, right?
It's so hard to shake the scars of traditional infamy, or standard deck where Tinker with 2 hammers and a T is absolutely horrifying.
Yeah.
And while it's still a problem here, there's a very real chance that players are overhyping the threat
Try to
because of that past.
and see if I draw
I don't know. It's hard to say.
to you, but I'm
I think
too
it's
damaged
possible. I mean,
to do that.
the good damage has been done, so I think they
Like,
can
get
afford
the
to maybe
torch
pivot
back.
now. And do you think the Corvids are really a threat right now?
to get this. So I'm tapped out.
I mean, police power is admittedly light in this game, which is great for Corvids.
But you're probably not going to be
Card wealth is not super high, which is great for Corvids.
Yes.
These are all factors that make Corvids potentially a threat, as unlikely as that sounds, given they're the Corvids and never win.
Then just guess
And
it
if they get ahead in terms of points early on, it could be hard to rein them in
That
for the
is
rest
true,
of the
I could
game,
do
right?
that.
It's impossible to put out every fire.
Right.
But I could do it.
So we could see a mega flip on the next turn. I somehow think that's a bit unlikely or somewhat premature at least.
We're gonna do this in order, I think.
But yeah, I see this from Squidmark in the chat. Ccoyote is a
Gonna repair the
really good
torch,
Corvids player, and everyone is respecting that, which I think is the
and
right
then do
approach.
the repair shed quest for cards. I'll take a look at this. Okay.
Tinker having some trouble with the quests. I think they've been unfavorable thus far.
Yeah, and the suit layout is not the most favorable either. It's going to take a lot of travel to get between,
Apples and bird cards.
for example, a mouse in any other suit.
Mhm.
I'd even appreciate a fox card just to be able to save some guys after I battle these, because it's more than likely both of them are going to disappear, and then I'll be able to also guess up here.
All right, so it looks like we may see a battle in that South Fox clearing against the plot.
I guess, yeah, they go after me, so.
And I'm really anticipating a battle in that North
I
Mouse
do
clearing as
More
well
likely
against the
to be able
Sympathy.
to.
Not get anything
Okay.
if I double aid you, and I lose something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think I'm gonna draw and end there.
Yeah, kind of a funny situation where they attacked each other last turn and now they have to work together.
Right.
It's so funny how strange bedfellows en route.
So we get 3 wood total. I realize I may have put, I put wood in the Warriors.
North Abbott, I have not played Obsession.
I should just set them out.
Garrick, have you played Obsession?
I have played Obsession. It's I didn't love it. I generally like being able to punch the other players when I play my games, but it had some cool ideas. I'd play it again.
Anything. I don't.
All right, that is a Garrick recommendation, ladies and gentlemen. Run, don't walk to your nearest board game outlet.
So take.
Actually, the designer publisher lives in the same city as me. Seems like a very nice guy. I've never met him, but he puts out videos and he seems very nice.
Wagging.
Yeah, you should visit his house unannounced one day.
I should.
That's an inside joke from the Guerric interview on Woodland War Machine coming out this coming Thursday.
Y'all didn't cut me out of that episode yet?
It's just us asking questions to silence.
We're gonna move.
All right, I feel like this is a pretty pivotal cat's turn here. And maybe I feel like all cats' turns are pivotal, but this
they kind of
does feel
are.
like it is going to shape sort of the path we go down in the future of this game here.
I do agree. We did see, that recruiter get placed down on that coastal mouse clearing. I mean, that is a recruiter in the 3 mouse clearings. We have that sort of mouse dom potential in the pocket.
And one thing I want to point out, the Alliance only has 1 supporter right now, so there is no threat of revolt in that mouse clearing, at least not this turn. So the cats could afford to ignore that.
Which there's a strong argument to do. I mean, why remove the sympathy if you don't have to? The reason, I guess, would be that you don't want sympathies. No, yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, I don't. Possible. I tried to find something. I didn't find it.
Yeah, so a bit lucky, I think, for the cats right now. They may
revolt on me.
I promise.
But Aaron, that's the thing. He can't.
I have 1 card, and it is not a mouse. I don't have a promise.
Griffin Hawk, I think I ruined Root Pretty for that episode.
I mean, yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But like, I still.
That actually was a great Root Pretty.
Was it?
Have cards to go here.
Yeah, I think so.
Guess things.
This seems like a devil's deal.
Especially final Ruperty, because I managed to get the last point I needed to force you to bid.
I think the only way we're able to do it.
Yeah, I still don't know who won, though. That's the thing.
And you can find out who won over at the Good Time Society Patreon.
Have ways to make it happen.
Garrick, please stop me. I can't take over your stream like this.
Yes, you can.
Literally, the only faction that likes to move is the one faction that doesn't give me cards. You've been very intentional to never trigger outrage, and cats are not going to move more than they physically have to. Like I'm going to be supporter starved.
I would march into that clearing, but the problem is I'd have to give you a mouse card, and all that does is help the chances of me getting revolted on. It really doesn't help you spread up here.
I thought you said, oh, he's not in mouse clearings. I thought I was guaranteed to get a wild card.
No.
I understand why that's...
I didn't have a bunny card.
Attention. But... Alright, as long as we team up and try to get some plots, we'll see what I can do.
I'm going to point this out too.
Same flexibility.
Corvid's in this rabbit clearing on the lakeshore.
Right.
They left the sympathy there as almost as like a defensive measure.
Right. That's a great point.
There's no threat of revolt, and it prevents the cats from marching in there and losing a card.
Easier to do this one, but yeah,
it's sort of weird. Like with that early March strategy from the cats is kind of coming back to bite them a bit because it's now harder for them to access those plot clearings.
And that's always the danger of marching as cats. Like, you never know when those little lone cats are going to end up being useful later in the game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it would probably still have to be a fox card because I'm not moving in here to get extorted or something.
And we're seeing AA Ron take his time a bit with this turn, which I definitely support. This does feel pretty crucial, especially with the kind of threat of mouse dominance in the mix here. Could be trying to decide between
restrict
a
movement
couple of options.
So we're going to take a march here. Wait, did I do? Yeah, so build, recruit. Now we have a march here. And we're going to take
North Abbott in
here.
the Patreon app, or I think on the website, if you go to Good Time Society Patreon, there is like a media tab, I'm pretty sure. I'm actually not 100% sure how it works exactly, but you can access audio of Root Pretty on the website or on the app.
What would be the timing for that, like drawing the fairy?
To listen to at your convenience.
I think you get to choose because
Rehab Escape, the cats, AA Ron hit the Vagabond in this bottom right rabbit clearing just a turn before they started working together to stop the Corvids.
Take that back.
I think,
but yeah,
I'm just also going to argue, like, I don't think Woodland Alliance is a problem yet, but we should be careful to...
Crows are significantly more of a problem than I am.
I'm not arguing that either.
All right.
I just think we should try to keep you from not being a problem because
the typical argument the typical argument for crows is like, oh yeah, we can stop them later, it doesn't take much. But in this case, with the board being so open, no one wants to battle you, you benefit a lot.
Oh yeah,
yeah, we were having this exact discussion a bit earlier.
I just wanted to argue for keeping the Woodland Alliance down while we do it.
See Ccoyote doing such a good job of disarming everyone's focus here. It's excellent.
Yeah. It's what you have to do as Corvids.
I'm not correct.
As your co-host would know.
Probably an extortion because
of course. Murder She Wrote famously went down to a Corvid's play, a massive points flip for I think it's like 17, 18 points or something.
I think it was 17,
could also be a
something like that.
Them just in the corners with
but they managed to deflect attention away from the threat the Corvids posed and flipped to win. It was pretty impressive.
It's possible, and bomb probably not. So it's probably between one of those two.
All right, everyone's trying to suss out what those plots could be. All right, Guerric, I'm gonna throw it to you. Top left corner. What is that plot?
I'm gonna guess
probably a snare. Might not be.
I'm guessing the fox corner up top is
a snare down here.
An extort.
Actually being able to get down there at all.
That's true. That would be pretty smart.
Yep,
if you
could
had
see that.
Then this
my second guess is a snare.
Anything. So I think we'll show you this card, Corvids, to guess that is.
Again, with so many face down plots, it's genuinely impossible to know.
Right.
Say that one's a raid.
All right, let me check again because I only checked like 30 seconds ago. That is not a raid.
Okay.
You can have that card. Enjoy it.
Over the Morrow, correctly pointing out, Walrus Law was our Corvid victor. In the game that involved Murder She Wrote.
Anyway, we'll go ahead and.
Corvid's having a good tournament so far. We've seen the player IQ with the Corvids go way up this year.
Assuming nothing else happens and Alliance does go up here and they guess.
We've always said that Corvids do better in an entangled board state, and Marauder expansion, I think, makes the game more entangled more often, more consistently from the start of the game. Okay. So it's a good environment for Corvids to be in, I think.
I don't like doing this, but I feel that it's necessary. We're gonna. Oh wait, I already used my 3 actions. That's right.
Yeah, you did.
But then I can't do that. Never mind. Just went through that long speech.
Card to throw up here?
Nope, unfortunately not. So yeah.
I mean, looking at the Cat's position, like it's pretty solid. They have access to a ton of building slots. Like they're going to be fine in the short term.
Right. I wouldn't overly concern myself as the Cats with the other factions. I think it would be easy to go down a hole of policing other players and throwing your game in the process.
Yeah, I mean, it's set up for free. Like the development has come very easily, and they have a nice access to those southeast rabbit building slots, which is pretty important for them. I don't know though. Okay, it's hard to say whether they will be able to keep up the pace required to
Well,
catch up to the Corvids if
should've
they choose to
crafted it.
flip.
I can't revolt. I can't spread sympathy.
Yeah, I probably should have, but I didn't.
Instead of crafting coffin makers, I'm using this to train an officer.
Thank goodness.
I have to keep this card.
What do you think of that, Guerric? Correct choice? Craft coffin makers or
So
spend it for an
I will-
officer?
Spending it for the officer.
Yeah, I think so too. This doesn't seem like a game where we're going to lose that many
I
warriors.
think I have a
Although
better
with
chance of
Corvids,
using
they
this
do
one
have to
than I do of this one. So
send
can
warriors
we
to the
use
supply
this?
in order to plot. So
I mean, the problem is it also disrupts the normal life cycle of a Wooden Alliance warrior from recruit, move, organize.
very true.
And that can end up being very impactful in the late game. So while typically the logic is, you know, craft coffin makers yourself so that you're the one under control of that.
That cuts me off from
I mean, we're early in the game. There's no guarantee someone else will draw it and craft it.
That would be pretty
Just get the
tough,
officer.
for you
Get
guys.
your game up and running.
Definitely has a bigger impact the earlier you get it. So
Mhm.
I think it's a
wanna
good choice.
Tell me what this one is, then maybe I could be convinced to not come down here and guess this one.
If I tell you what this is, you would not guess this one.
Yeah.
An unconventional deal being proposed here.
Okay,
Oh,
I can do
Put
that.
this warrior back.
This one here is a raid.
All right. I would like to use this card to guess this raid. If this
Sounds
is
great.
betrayal. It'll hurt.
This is in fact a raid.
I will draw 1 point, or I will gain 1 point, and then I will move down here, and I will guess that that's a snare. With this,
This is a snare.
What?
Let's go.
that's another
Are you serious? We've just seen one of the craziest
No, I don't want to give
backstabs
you your card back.
in table talk that I've ever witnessed.
What even was that? That's
You just lied to me.
Wow.
Did he?
He said,
I
yeah.
think
that
I-
if I
I
told
think-
you
Trenzelore dipping into the dark
that was
arts
a-
there.
That was an outright lie.
I
I
think
mean,
I
it's
dealt with
okay.
the
It's
Corvid
not
problem.
illegal. I do know this about you. Triz.
Wow. Ccoyote. This is the angriest I think I've ever heard him.
I mean, it's okay. I think a little less of you now, but that's
Oh my
I
god. he's
think
been
a little less of you
excommunicated
now.
from Ccoyote's good
In
list.
the forest with all these oppressors.
oh man.
So,
I was gonna
I
say,
will-
Wow.
Slogan all games so far has been "Don't trust Coyote." I told the truth, and
got
immediately get
Horribly punished.
Come on.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
don't trust Coyote part was just me joking around. I wasn't
Oh, I
being
know.
serious.
I know.
And
All right.
Garrick, just like that, we see the kind of
Let's see
threat
what
of the
the
Corvids
odds
just
for this.
evaporate.
Oh, I'm plotting
And-
on your base.
I mean, isn't that just representative of Corvids right there?
Wow.
Meant to be the trickiest, most devious faction.
Actually, is that
And instead they just broadcast everything they do and get
considering not going through with it.
punished and backstabbed by everyone else. Wow.
Oh man, I bet AA Run is just like sitting back and eating
If I take
popcorn right
this,
now. This
would you
is
take this?
so for those of you who are just listening to this in podcast form, like I do from time to time, let me just describe what happened here. The Woodland Alliance
I will gladly take
looked
that.
at a plot and said, if you tell me what this one is, I won't march south and guess your
can't
other
believe
plot.
That you lied to me.
Ccoyote complied, revealing what the plot was. The Alliance immediately doubled back and guessed what
I respect
Ccoyote had
that,
revealed
but at the same
correctly,
time, like
because he was being
Captain
truthful.
Tinker
And
would
then,
run away with
in
this.
addition to that, marched and guessed the other plot. It
I-
was
I mean, buddy, you.
I mean, it's great for Wooden Alliance's game.
And you.
It's pretty awful for Corvid's game.
Pretty much in-
Trenzelore getting the Henry Kissinger Award for the Root Winter tournament here.
I opened up a window, went to YouTube.
That is one of the most entertaining plays we've seen this whole tournament. Wow.
That
If I
is
win,
so
I
brutal.
listen to that song. And if I don't, I just close that window.
I mean, has
Sure,
this
you
just
get to listen to
locked
that
the
song
Corvids and
tonight.
the
When you go
Woodland
to
Alliance
sleep,
into
you have to
a
remember that.
death spiral of mutual destruction, though?
I mean, it might have.
All right.
I know a lot of people would be tilted into pure salt from that turn.
Definitely
as Corvids, you know? They're
Yeah.
I'm still just reeling from it.
Enough salt for Aaron's popcorn.
Really well.
Yeah, I don't know how you come back from this in table talk terms. If the Alliance ever needs like a favor or anything, it's over.
I mean, right. They have burned all potential goodwill.
At this point, I may have to spend almost my entire turn beating other people down because, like, yeah, I'm getting strong, but I don't like the amount of item cards that have been discarded that the Tinker could get easily. I mean, they're still recovering right now, so it's not that big of a deal, but I will have to start doing some stuff soon. I'm very uncomfortable policing as cats because I never have to do it. But it's probably gonna end up having to happen at some point.
All right.
All right.
I'm
So
going
Ccoyote
to-
able to kind of recover there for a second, hopefully not too tilted, able
And
to
Bunny.
clear his head and make some good
Again.
decisions here.
We were talking about this in a previous stream, but it is so important to practice level-headedness in a tournament context, just to remain calm, keep your thoughts organized and clear. Don't let your emotions get the better of you. There's a whole like meditative skill
I'm going
to playing in a tournament. That's
Yep.
just as true for Root as it is for other games.
Very much so. And Ccoyote, I feel like, is already a pretty calm person, able to
Battle
recover from bumps in the road here.
No ambush.
He's recruited in Rabbit and battled away a
So
sympathy.
he didn't flip.
So some martial law going now, right by the
I was going to
Woodland Alliance base.
They took out. I'm not worried about people going after me because
Chat was asking for a reminder of who has won their round 1 games. It is Ccoyote and Trenzelore are both round 1 winners. I had to go double check my notes.
Squidmark. It's wine for both of us, right? It's not just mine. Yeah, Fugless, I agree. I'd need a second to breathe and come back from that type of play. Wow. Life and Root. Sorry. In what is it? In Root and War, all things are fair. I don't know about that play, but most other things are fair.
I mean, is this where we begin the campaign for binding deals in Root?
Ooh, I don't know. That is a whole can of anthropomorphized worms that we don't have to open right
Oh
now.
God, anthropomorphized worms. Why would you put that idea in my head?
You've seen Busy Town. There's an anthropomorphized worm in Busy Town. He's very cute.
and I would like to plot.
And as Rehab Escape points out in the chat, there was no flip this turn. Instead, Ccoyote simply going to replot on those same clearings, and
So that was.
I have to imagine that the mind games have just gone to a different level here.
Presumably, we will not tell Trenzelore what one of them is this time.
yeah. The meta of being honest about what your plots are, I think, has just convincingly been ended.
Yes.
Yes.
Any thought about maybe guessing some of these Corvid plots? Because as much of a betrayal as did happen, they still have, let's see, 2, 5,
11
I'm
points.
bad at math. There's still a lot of points here. They still
Yeah.
need to be dealt with.
I'm going to go to this side of the map.
Everyone knows Corvids are not allowed to score points.
Tinker,
But
if you're able to give me a
I don't know. I think in this
Actually,
specific
I can
situation,
throw at least a couple guesses against a couple of those. I had some good card draw last time for bunny cards.
I got
man, it must feel like being piled on for sure.
and a third.
Take
I got
that
0
out.
points.
Also, like
I would probably be more tilted by this table talk right now than by Trenzelore's play backstabbing me.
The audacity. And now we're just coldly plotting the demise of one of the seats at the table.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
even a mouse card would be helpful because then I don't have to. I was planning on overworking this turn, and that'll help because I got rid of the mouse cards that I had.
Oh, actually.
Okay. Looks like the
um,
Tinker
let's
considering
do
a
this
trip
in
on the
order.
ferry
I got
here.
distracted, so that's still here. I have to do this over here.
You know, I always think it's funny about the ferry. It's like
Um,
usually you pay a
working the
toll and then you get to cross the water, but in Root, you take the
craft
ferry and you
second
get
tee.
a card.
It's so silly. I really don't know
Oh,
why they felt the need to add benefit on top of benefit with the ferry.
Yeah, on Lake Map, they pay you to take the ferry. So we've just had another tea craft, and
I mean,
I mean,
would.
it really feels like the Corvids have a target on their back, but here's a double T Tinker.
I mean, the
ready
tea is less for refreshing and more for questing. Given we can see 2 tea quests out in the display at this moment, certainly that's how I would pitch it if I were in Decoy's seat.
Right. It's not a threat to you. I'm just going to be scoring bonus points without impacting my action
Right.
Yeah, definitely seems like a problem, but not a short-term problem. I think the Corvids are just a little more of a short-term kind of points burst issue. So they may leave the Tinker for another turn. We will see.
I mean, the thing about Corvids is people are always so scared of their giant bursts of points that they get tunnel vision and neglect other problems that are on the table.
What do you guys think this is? You didn't flip it.
We have an in-universe theory here from Goosarino, suggesting that players who take the ferry, they've been hired by some entity to operate the ferry for that turn.
Right, that's 3.
So they put in a good shift driving the ferry, and they earn a card for it.
Don't hit you next turn if you don't guess.
So as the Tinker here,
one of these
Guerric,
I'm okay giving you. The other one.
do you think you just go around peaceably questing until people notice that you're a problem? What's your
Would
approach?
probably be a pretty good raid.
I mean, I think questing and aiding could be pretty valid. I mean, you can't be forced hostile. If people choose to police you too much, they're just giving you refreshes when you come back from the forest due to evening's rest. If you go heavy into the questing and aiding, it can be very lucrative. It
ramps up quickly, yeah.
Right.
I feel like I'm going to guess raid, and then it's not going to be a raid. I'm going to guess snare, and it's not going to be a snare, and then I get bombed.
Yeah, I guess somewhat fortunately for the table, that is, sitting in this rabbit clearing, you just have a boot and tea quest errand.
So,
but the refreshed boot is actually damaged right now because of the lingering effects of that cat attack earlier. So I'm not currently able to quest from that location. But now that he's in a fox clearing,
or does it advantage you to just kind of like?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a while yet before we see those quests ramp up.
While you continue to kind of do your.
It's looking like maybe next turn is where it starts happening.
Right, and Tinker doing a nice job ending or reaching the end phase of their turn kind of far away from the action.
Because nobody's crafting me anything.
And I think attempting to earn some goodwill from the table by exposing this plot, it sounds like that's what they're discussing.
Yeah, this is how you win from ahead. I think Decoy putting on a nice performance here.
Safely one guess. And I don't think I can make it. Because I don't know how Coyote does plots.
That's those damn woodland. They have it figured out.
What do you think it is, Guerric? I think it's a bomb.
Oh gosh, with so many plots spaced down, there's nothing to go off of.
It's definitely a bomb.
It's definitely a bomb, you say?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, I'll guess raid to be contrarian.
I think it might be.
Okay.
It's going to be my first guess. And unless Aaron says anything, I think I'm going to guess bomb.
I don't really know.
Bomb
all right.
figure.
I can also throw a guess on it.
Yeah, it just seems like kind of fun if that's a bomb, right?
Guess bomb, you can guess something else.
Griffin X Hawk, I think a snare would be probably the more practical choice there.
I mean, snare is the most practical, which is why it cannot be a snare, right? I mean, that's the perverse problem of Corvids, is you can never put the plot you most want into a location, because then people will know what it is.
I guess
over the Morrow, the gymnastics of that bluff there are pretty amazing. Here's the full quote for those of you listening at home. over the Moro says, I would put a bomb on the Woodland Alliance base because the Alliance would assume a double bluff snare,
So
then
we're
a
gonna
triple
place
bluff
one wood at each
extort.
Sawmill, and I remembered not to put them back into the warrior supply.
And this
Don't
is
know if I agree
why-
with that. I think they would just guess bomb.
Right. That's why I always advocate, like, don't fool around with the mind games. Just find out which plot is a problem for you and guess it. And that means pretty much always just guessing bomb.
And 3 wood here.
If you don't, you end up like the one Corvid win in the Space Cats Peace Turtles. That's not a legal build.
Points is that?
In the Space Cats Peace Turtles Patreon tournament, where the Cats player did not guess bomb, and it was a bomb.
Second action, we are going to take
Yeah,
March.
gotta be
No,
safe,
sorry,
right?
Second action.
Have that insurance. Yeah, that is not a legal build. Tied for
and
presence
once
there.
again, I
That
put the wood
Corvid,
back in here.
single Corvid warrior putting in enough work to stop the build
I
there.
had them out.
Yeah, with all these
People just-
marches, I was hoping for a march into that clearing
There,
at some point to secure rule.
there.
And this
Third
is
action.
illegality upon illegality.
All three.
We
of
are
these
1 point
guys
away
are
from
Oh.
the prerequisite for a dominance
Oh,
play.
so that was what? Build, recruit, move.
I mean, we're abandoning that corner. Are we just going hard mouse dom?
We're gonna take a march here with the ferry.
Okay, I think it is going to happen.
So you're not going to guess that plot?
Is
And we're not gonna take. We will take a second move over here. I do the draw the card though. Okay. And then last action, we'll battle the sympathy here.
Oh boy.
I think it's happening.
No ambush.
Yeah, he's hitting 10 points and he's rushing dominance. This
And-
is
and it might
dire
work.
for the table.
We'll have to give you a card. We'll go ahead, give you.
I mean, Corvid's plotted so aggressively on the previous round that they lost a lot of their warrior density.
Yeah, the warrior density is not very high, and they are spread out. They are spread out.
Draw 2 cards.
Oh no.
and
He is
there we go.
playing the dominance. Chat, you were right all along. I'm sorry I ever doubted you. We
I
have
ate
the
my
Cats
words.
I think so too.
going
Didn't
for
consider it.
mouse dominance
Yeah.
right off the bat. As soon as they hit 10 points. on
Oh,
the top.
baby.
This is a
Masterfully set up
clinical-
by AA Ron, getting exactly the 10
clinical-
points.
Dominance play. I mean, I don't know how the
Is there
table
anything we can do to this?
I don't
stops
think
it,
so.
right?
I
They've
can't
got
think of it.
solid control
I
over
can
all
take
4
a clearing,
clearings.
but I don't think I can.
And the
take 2.
funniest part is about this, Guerric, look at that center mouse clearing.
Um,
He even left
I
an
think I'll have
extra
to
wood
sword for
token
the
there
Vagabond.
to
Mhm.
absorb a hit.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is
Just
the
in
sword over
case.
here.
Yep, which is very
So
smart.
those buildings that still
Move,
contribute to rule could have the chance
explore,
of.
move again.
Yep, that's a
Awesome.
subtle touch. That's very good, very important.
The Vagabond.
I really just wish the keep had been on a mouse clearing right now.
Yeah, I think-
Twice.
But maybe then
Twice.
again, he
So
by placing in that fox clearing threw everyone
I
off
need
the
to get
scent.
this through.
Although we were kind of calling it out from early on.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that deflection
and
outweighs the benefit of having a nigh untakeable clearing in your
True.
dom territory.
And we were pointing out that was an illegal build of that recruiter there for sure. However, he did march into
Yes.
that clearing, so he could have reversed the order of those actions and it
if
would have
the
been legal.
Vagabond
So
turned up, that would be key.
it truly doesn't bother me that much. because
Right.
it would have been
That's
possible
just
one
an
way or
order of
another.
operations problem, not a true illegality once he factored
Right.
that march in.
Now,
Omega Knight, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Wow.
I'd have a total.
Thank you so much.
And then I could.
Yeah, Guerric, is it time to break out the gambling?
Oh man, is there even a gamble to be had here? Do we think the table has a chance at stopping this?
I think that's the question. Let's put it to a poll.
I can do a flash gamble.
And something else? No.
Yeah, what do we say? Cats dominance victory, anything else?
Yep.
That's the question of the day. Chat, are you not entertained?
Woodland Alliance. This is a super weird ask.
All right. You have 2 minutes to get your bets in, everyone.
Like, even one battle.
Like,
I don't
We'll see if anyone wants to bet against cats.
All right, we immediately have a bet against the
So
cats
we-
in the
so I have
poll
more
there.
in there than
Swinging
we
hard the
have,
other
so-
way.
how much do you still hate me?
I mean, I think we're. I
He did make a free personal
the
threat.
answer is my I'm not happy with you, but I'm also willing to make negotiations and deals because I don't want to lose yet.
I just want to say this is part of the beauty of randomized clearing suits. I know some people dislike them, but without them, dominance is so much more difficult.
Yes.
The ability for maps to have this sort of layout
I mean,
is what really can make dominance viable like this.
I don't think most of us are still.
I'm not even done with my first glass of wine. This game might be already over. Here's what I want to say. This has been a story of strange bedfellows, this game of Root. And
Yes.
we're seeing it yet again. The wheel of fortune has turned, and now the Corvids and the hated Woodland Alliance are having to work together.
Some of our relationship. I will come.
I love Root.
Here to the best of my ability.
Excellent. I will leave this base alone this turn.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you have to.
You have
no other
to.
choice.
There's a bigger problem.
How does a no-sword tinker even contribute to this conversation?
I mean, if they were right after cats in turn order, I'd say like, maybe from some sort of aiding or something, but they're right before cats. They have no contribution whatsoever.
Right.
Unless they can, reach maximum allied status and move a bunch of pieces out from a clearing or something. I don't even know.
This is insanity. The cats could not have found a more ideal moment
spread sympathy
to spring a dominance play on the board.
To this.
Yeah, if the Tinker's been holding onto a sword, they
over there for a point.
They got to pitch in. They're going to lose the game.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes one cat might make the difference, or like just naked buildings. They could make some kind of difference. Amanda Applesauce. Yeah, if only we had the scoundrel this game.
And I think
the ultimate hard counter to dominance plays.
Although even then, that wouldn't be enough on its own in this case, given we do have 4 clearings.
Right. The cat's having good control over 4 clearings. I think the smallest amount of rule they have is 5
before they ever offered, or before they ever asked for your help.
And you're looking at the Corvids and the Woodland Alliance trying to make this happen.
Something the Crows can already spend their entire turn doing.
I wonder if there's an argument that Corvids needed to play differently just to maintain a warrior density on the map for this eventuality.
I feel like he does.
Yeah.
No,
I definitely.
I mean, what did the Alliance do here? Did they just abandon the base and try and take out that nearby mouse clearing?
I guess so.
But I gave him as a supporter instead of the.
I mean, this is just. That's what we're seeing the start of, where all these officers built up.
Gooey Kablooey pointing out
so I didn't have to get
9,000 IQ play here. The Corvids do have the ability to craft in Birdsong. Meaning if they have false orders in hand, they have a fox plot. They could craft false orders and then use it in the same turn.
Even better. Corvids have 2 fox plots. They could craft false orders, use it, craft a second one, and use it. All in the same Birdsong. I checked with Josh. That is legal.
Wow. That is wild.
Yeah.
That was not the role Woodland Alliance needed.
No, it wasn't. I mean, the Warriors they have available are not
did their part in this for the table. So
they don't have that many to work with. So a 2-1.
And
we really needed
the smallest dent.
We needed that extra warrior. That base, losing the base would have been terrible. Losing the game is worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is going to be rough. I mean, even with an exert, Corvids only have 4 actions to work with.
I think this is pretty wrapped up.
For 5 points. So that's 3 to 8.
Okay. Not very promising there. Grabbing some items, I guess.
I mean, in fairness, crafting the sword makes it something that the Tinker could grab with aid.
That's a fair point. Fair point.
I don't think it's going to matter, but it is something.
For 3 points.
Okay, yeah, might as well.
That was my revenge.
See what Alliance just did. Yeah. See what they just did to you, Alliance.
No,
Aaron rubbing it in.
If we don't stop your dominance, then like we've had our revenge on each other.
I'll then extort
Woo-hoo,
the Vagabond.
Fun times.
That's kind of just the plot you didn't
Would've
want
still
there.
made you for that sword.
You know, if
I think that was 5 points.
we failed to stop this. Or if
I
we
was at
succeeded
8 when I
in
started
stopping
flipping,
this
so we
dominance.
can count 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, never mind.
If we succeed
Um,
in stopping this dominance, I think Corvids are winning.
And then I will flip this.
Yeah,
one
Corvid's obviously taking a bit of a lead now.
for 5 points.
No, save the cat. We will go ahead and field hospital him.
Yep, could be. If you want to.
Yeah, obviously the southern approach to
for that extort.
the
Yeah.
mouse
How
clearings
many cards
is
do you have?
5.
chock full of warriors as well, so the reinforcement's going to happen even if they manage to stall the game for another round.
Right. Even if they miraculously manage to prevent the Dom for one turn,
So,
is there any way
Yeah,
they
and
stop at the next turn? You
The
know?
fairy
mouse.
being where it is, it kind of prevents the Corvids from consolidating as fast as they need to, weirdly enough. It's like, yeah, sure, they can recruit in mouse, which is very good, but they're going to need the moves to control those clearings, and it's totally unclear
So you have 1, 2,
if
3,
they have enough actions to really make it happen.
1, 2.
North Abbott, yes, cats have gone for the mouse Dom, and they are very, very close to pulling it off. It is almost definite.
I think at this point what you do is let the dominance happen, because Ccoyote is already on a win in this tournament, and
So
it
there's
just sort of
gonna be a
improves
slip
your
to here.
chances
Move to here.
down the
explore.
line.
That's going to cost me 1 boot. And then I can
Not
go
give your
here,
opponents extra
here,
lives, right?
Or if I repair the other boot, I can move to here.
Moving to here would be bad.
I mean, I appreciate that they're trying. I just,
Are you going to remove the?
yeah, I don't see a path here.
So like I said,
I think Corvids could do something about that middle mouse
Right.
clearing.
I think they can handle one
we're gonna like
clearing,
if
but we have to handle
it's
2.
realistic for me to try to get rid of the clearing,
Yeah, cats just
so
have
much
too
as
strong of a grip.
I can try to get enough guys into them to prevent them from winning.
North Abbott, Tinker does have items, but they're not exactly aggressive items. Tinker has no swords at the moment.
Movement. That takes out 1.
Again, having access
And
to
then
the
I can
fairy
hit
would have made a pretty big
3
difference
crows in here.
in this situation, trying to maximize
I
Which
can-
means
the
between
4
your 2
movements.
battles, you would need to kill
Because I guess
one.
I mean, let's count actually.
Yeah, that
So they've got-
should happen.
I
got
think
15
that
warriors on the
is
map.
right way to play this, right?
You know, if they were able to pick them all up as a
The
group and then
numbers
just
are much more
distribute
simplified
them,
for
it could
war
probably
games,
work.
smart
But
guys.
I don't know, 4
It's like, I
movements.
wanna
That's just
battle
not going to be
this.
enough.
If he has if he has the other bird ambush, it's all over.
Yeah, that means I have to take the hits on the bird ambush if he has one, which is, I guess, okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. All right, so let's move and move.
All right, so
this
tied
is
for rule in that
the
clearing.
dawn clearing.
Which is enough.
We just have 1 more to take out.
And then I guess he has to move those top 2 to the middle and hope for a good roll.
Yep.
That's the only way. And maybe the Tinker can aid and deal like 1 hit.
I guess
Okay,
I
well-
guess a 3-0 would do it.
Did I do this the last action? Put a 4th in there. 'cause
They've,
we killed one
They
piece.
found the only potential
Yeah, I
path.
feel
Oh,
like
he's going to take
let's
a
just
last
be
movement
safe.
and hope for the Tinker to roll a 1. Yeah, yikes.
Well,
You know what? That's
That could be
better
enough.
statistically.
play. I'm kind
Speaking.
A hugely passive way to stop the dominance play,
This
but
is
that
kind of
concentration of
awkward,
warriors
because if I
will make a
do
big difference on the
move
Corvid's
to
next
first
turn.
go,
So
You can easily get.
I mean, is this
I
just
guess
kicking
this
the
is
can
right.
down the road? I mean, they stop at this turn, but is there any way
crafted all game?
that cats don't just secure it next turn? I don't know.
if the cats use their recruit action
That's so
and then
stuff.
march from the keep, that's overwhelming.
Right.
So,
Maybe spice in a battle just to get some crows off the table and
Yeah, the Corvids will hope to receive an ambush and aid from the Tinker.
to
I think
there.
that's Gonna maybe keep some spice in the game, but good lord, this is looking quite dire. Guerric, do we have the results of the poll?
We do.
Not.
Let's see. 22 people voted for cats, wagering 53.3k coins. 74% of the total wagered at a payout of 1 to 1.36. 6 people voted against cats, wagering 19.2k coins, 26% of the bet, with a payout of 1 to 3.78.
Just aid you up there.
Yeah, this is maybe the one situation in Root where 3v1
Yeah, any card that lets
might fail.
keep recruiting.
We'll see, but if you are correct and you
problem that's going away.
guess one of the other three,
Yeah.
Play this game.
you're walking away with a whole lot of Guerric mucks.
Yeah.
Can't help, I imagine.
Yeah.
So let's get this 1 point and the sword.
Deep down, I know that most people are just here for the gambling.
Let's not forget as well, like false orders is still a thing for the Corvids. I think there's a couple of creative options that the table retains, but
I
it is
mean,
going to be
do you
quite
think-
difficult.
You think false orders is still a threat if Corvids didn't craft it and use it last turn? I mean, the only potential would be that they drew it at the end of their last turn.
For anything, right? It still arrives to me.
I mean, yeah, that is the only option, right? Well, actually, they didn't draw, right? They used.
Oh, right, they exerted. Right, they exerted. So yeah, that's not even. I don't think there's any world where Corvids would have kept that up their sleeve.
Right, dwindling resources here.
Time to roll 0-0 twice in a row. Let's go.
If the cats overcommit to restoring,
Well, there goes that dream.
if the cats overcommit to restoring rule over those clearings
guys.
and leave the keep, could the Corvids somehow spike a win by cleaning up some cardboard?
Are you battling me?
Corvids need to find 8 points.
I don't know. Haven't decided yet.
I mean, is there even 8 points of cardboard that they could pick up?
It's a good question.
I mean, there technically is. I think Corvids would be on probably a 2 to 3 turn clock if they stop the Dom this turn.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like the most likely way would be picking up just about 1 point of cardboard plus some crafting. But yeah, it looks like they're going to be on a 2-turn clock.
And you do lose a building.
Or the wood.
Hold on, wait. So
Or the wood.
I went hostile.
That's why you kept the wood.
Do I get an infamy point for the first one?
That single wood token coming in handy.
All right, hold on. I started at 9, right?
Nice detail from
I
AA
know I'm
run.
doing my points right. So 9, quested for 10, aided for 1. Corvids go to 1. I swung, and that's going to be an infamy point for that. And I'll take out a cat and a wood, and that'll be 2 points.
2 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be 14.
All right.
I assume
Tinker
it's wood.
has adopted a
Oh,
fighting posture and is contributing meaningfully to stopping this dominance. I am going to eat my words a little bit.
Oh my gosh, why does it keep dropping this?
Aaron taking out
Okay.
the sawmill and not the wood. Interesting.
Yeah, a bit interesting there.
14. I'll draw 1, and then I'm over satchel limit. And I'll toss a boot probably.
Well, I suppose he's going to march back in there and rebuild anyway, I guess. Oh, he's going to build a recruiter there. Pliskin with the strats.
Okay. So we get 1 wood at sawmills.
Oh yeah, I guess so. It only needs
So
the 3
there.
wood, and that's the 3. Yeah.
We're not
Okay, fair enough.
do any crafting.
Yeah, sorry, pointed out by multiple people in the
So
chat.
then I have
I just,
actions.
Pliskin was the one that caught my eye. So,
Wait.
in this situation, Guerric, do you play it more balanced, or do you go in guns
Should
blazing
have
and try and take out the warrior count?
1 less in the supply, I thought. Should I take out an extra guy here?
It probably depends partially on how many bird cards I have in hand.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, this is correct.
But
Spent a good chunk
my
of the hand on field hospitals,
I'm
it
just
looks
gonna
like.
assume-
yeah, we're down to 2 cards in hand.
I was thinking there would be 5 in the supply.
My
Um,
leaning would probably be for battles, though.
I'm going to use those first.
All right, this game does go another round, and you know what that means. It's time for some more Pinot Noir.
Is that what that means?
I guess so.
Squidmark, I don't know what round it is. We're not far into the game.
I think turn 5, maybe?
That's sort of what my gut was saying.
That sucks.
Okay, still complete control over 2 of those clearings.
Take those back. We're not going to recruit yet. We're going to spend.
Okay, yeah, he is going to build.
I guess we got to do a march first. So we're going to.
My fear is if you clear the keep entirely, that opens the door for Corvids to swoop in and
Right.
get some point score going.
So we're going to march first. Take these guys over here. This is probably stupid, but we're going to see what happens.
Those of you watching at home, this is definitely one of the more topsy-turvy games that we've seen in the tournament so far.
That's just points for Corvids.
Every time you think you've got a handle on what's going on in this game, it just flips over.
I mean, it was a weird faction mix, and then anytime you play dominance, the game gets weird. So it's just weird on top of weird.
Puts them like points away.
And we really are seeing how big a difference it makes to place that keep in the offsuit clearing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this would be so different right now if that keep had been in a mouse clearing. Man.
It might be over, right?
Because I got a roll to get that out. So how many do I need? I need 4 warriors in there.
Prince of Bang, round 10, so we switch to pure grain alcohol.
First action is going to be...
Nev, I ask you, why not both? Why can't we have the Corvids win a dominance victory? I want to see it.
This is rough.
I mean, at some point, does Aaron plead with the table, hey, which would you rather have, a dominance win or a Corvid win? You know?
I didn't think you'd be able to get.
I think he still has an arrow in his quiver of table talk that is Ccoyote is on a win, and giving your opponent extra lives in the next phase of the tournament is going to be a disadvantage for literally everyone else at this table.
Were you
so
doing a dominance play?
I think in kind of a weird meta sense, meta tournament sense,
maybe 2 turns
Aaron could maybe sway the
that could be useful
intellect at the table there.
And I realized, oh hey, I got 4 mouse clearings here, so I might as well try it. But Corvids have to go and, you know, have more than 2 reach for, or I guess 3 reach for once in their life.
I think Aaron's feeling a little salty right now.
We actually had swinging.
This is what you ask for when you play a dominance card, right?
Right.
Get ganged up on. That's
when you play dominance card, you are explicitly telling the table, "Hey, come stop me or else." And then any repercussions for that are entirely on you for playing that dominance.
This is so crazy.
Phalanx, Aaron's wavering between recruiting or not. That's why there's 4 sitting off to the side there.
I think he's got to march, build, and recruit.
Do this. So we're going to...
But I guess he just doesn't have a bird card to regain solid control over one of those clearings and battle it down.
Taking over here, and then... no, we're going to take 2 from here, over here, then march again. Then we're going to, second action, spend 3 wood to build a recruiter.
Okay, yep.
We're going to... Oops.
Return of the Robot.
Are you building a recruiter and then recruiting?
I expect.
Yeah, I think that's got to be the play, right? He's gonna
Yeah.
gain super control over that clearing as well as the top left one.
Place the cats free if you want.
I mean,
Granite Top pointing out that the Corvid's warrior supply is nearly empty. That is actually a great point. This next recruit is going to be a bit thin from the Corvids. And by a bit thin, I mean 0. So all the
I think
Corvids that could potentially be on the board are already there.
Well, should we?
I just don't think this works without a battle because
2, 3
you have
cats out.
battles advantage the attacker in route.
Plan
Very
out.
much.
So proactive battling is crucially important.
If he
Corvid
Right.
spent
and the Corvids
their
are
actions.
already
Ambush.
They
they're
sp-
already in the location they want to be.
Right.
So you want to try and whittle that down.
They spent their turn getting to the spot, and this was your window to battle them.
I've got a
Now they have free reign to battle you, and it's going to favor them, and it's just going to
really.
Oh, I did.
crush your ability
I
to
just trusted you.
win.
So
But yeah, I have a mouse ambush. It won't go anywhere.
I mean, it's not worthless, chat, because even if he recruits in mouse, he then has to spend the turn moving to put them back in the right places, as opposed to battling.
I moved these
Because
ones
we saw it, that the
over
Corvids spent their entire turn
And,
plus an
battle.
exert just moving, trying to consolidate those crows.
here.
They
I get
start out
ambushed,
spread
I'm
out so
down to
much,
2.
even with a mouse
Which means,
recruit.
like, we could have the Vagabond.
The
come
density is just not there.
Right. The battle absolutely
This is
pays
gonna
off
be-
just in terms of action
so it's
attacks.
tied here.
Yeah.
So one
Yeah,
more.
so I guess maybe instead of
Okay, it's gonna
building
be
and
all
recruiting, just
there
recruit and battle,
as well.
perhaps.
So this is going to
Woodland,
be.
we might need you to punch again.
Aaron is in Discord,
with
Erzad.
with your one guy.
I don't know if he can hear.
That's so rough because I really wanted to organize here.
Yeah,
Well, you
no.
can punch him and then organize. Just roll 0.
That,
Yeah, just roll a 0.
I mean, I don't think any of us are doing what we want to do on our turns right now.
Gooey kablooey.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe some regret over the
This is actually like gets me past this.
choice to not craft the coffin
Little
makers.
bit.
Although
Go around it, can you?
Yeah.
we saw that the single battle that the Alliance was able to accomplish with their officers actually let the Corvids prevent the dominance
if we have
victory.
to.
So
I think we just might
in a very
put
strict
some orders in
sense,
here,
it's
and it'll be
really good
5.
that they spent that on the
And
officer
then
instead.
This one we can't do anything about. So this is going to be 5, 6.
Yeah.
4 Corvids. We'll see.
Poor Aaron. Internet issues
I'm
suck.
not sure I'm gonna be scoring points for
Yeah,
the
it is the
game,
worst.
'cause I feel like
In
just trying to keep
chess tournaments online, it's called the Comcast Gambit,
Well, you
when
two
you
slowly just crawl
forfeit a
back
game
up,
because you lose internet
but-
connection.
I have returned.
Fantastic.
Welcome back. Did you want to do that last recruit?
Wait, so I've done what? March and then build.
March build, and you're about to recruit.
Yeah, we're gonna recruit.
All right. Control for the time being. Is it enough
And
to
then-
overcome the Corvid's advantage?
Question.
I don't think so. But I
Hard
do
to say.
like that the keep is defended now. I like this version of this better, at least.
Yeah, agreed. It
By the
means
way,
that the
this is gonna
Corvids
suck.
can't be as selfish as they otherwise would
Right.
want to be.
Um,
But I do think we're going to see the loss of a lot of cat lives today.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Right. But the thing is, if they deplete their presence in the other 2 clearings, then the other players are just going to switch tack and move over there.
Right. It's not like you can deny the Corvids rule and force them to battle out. They're nimble. They just.
Bird card
Oh, we do have a bird card.
Oh, clutch.
to
Battle. Definitely battle.
take a march over here.
What?
I mean, I guess
Why?
if we have another and we can battle the Corvids there, I could see some logic
Just
in
go for it.
giving up on the 4th clearing and going for the 3, but we
I
really.
don't know.
Oh, that just makes everyone's job easier.
I know it.
Force this.
I mean, if you have 2 bird cards, you may as well just battle then. Why?
Right. The Corvids are nimble. They don't care about density, so I would say just battle them.
Oh.
You are
I
lagging
lost
out.
it.
Is
again.
there a numbers issue that
End of
we're
your turn?
somehow
I think we have
overlooking
to
here?
wait for him to actually
No,
verbally confirm
Yeah.
in
Got
case he changes his
no, it's
mind.
gone.
That's an enormous.
9 plus 2, so
Yeah.
11
Nine.
presents.
I was just hoping
11.
it was done so we could move on. But we'll see.
11,
Maybe
9.
he can text.
And eight.
I am done.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I am done. Just if I don't have 3 more cards in my hand, just draw them and put them.
I mean, well, now the problem is that the Corvids can just
Yeah.
march their
I
people
got you.
over into the top right, and then
He's
they've
at
stopped
3,
dominance.
1.
Right. So.
And that's only cost 2 actions, so they can still plot
well, he's
elsewhere
made it
or...
so we only have to take out 1 clearing now.
I really would have
go
liked
battle
to have
the
seen a
keep.
battle there.
And,
Yeah, I think that
just
was a step in the wrong direction for the cats there.
what we
I mean,
actually
Thank you.
have.
if you could still battle here, it would be great because an ambush could still really mess us up. Because my
I
plan is
really
to
don't
move
think he has
everything.
an ambush.
I mean, if you
Yeah,
want
honestly, an ambush would be crazy right now. Remember, the Tinker doesn't contribute to rule in any way, so really only the Corvids
Three cards, which could have
are,
potentially given us an ambush.
the bulwark against cat dominance here.
Unless
Although, again, because they
we
have
go,
only a presence of 8 in the
what's
top right,
discard?
Corvids can use 2 move actions to effectively
there's
uh,
one bird
keep the game
ambush,
alive
I
for another
believe.
round,
Mm-hmm.
I am
that's
pretty
the
sure.
one.
which is all they need to
it's
win,
order-
to be honest.
Yeah. I spent it. It's somewhere around here.
I mean, this is very stoppable in this board state.
Yeah. The question is, can the Crows win on their next, on the turn that's about to happen? Which is also kind of possible, I
Oh
would say.
yeah, I see it now. Yeah, there's 1 bird.
Fugless pointing out that a coin's craft
You
would go
don't
a
have
long
bird
way
ambush you haven't told
towards
us
a
about yet, do you?
No, I
Corvid
don't have
victory
any,
here.
ambushes.
Gooey Kablooey, that would open up the mouse choke point to cat rule. It would be very easy for Vagabond to go wipe it or something, though.
Or I do anything else anyway.
Good point. Yeah, the
So-
space left behind would be ruled by the cats for
Well,
sure.
I can't revolt, and I can't spread sympathy. So I will
Woodland
mobilize.
Alliance revealing that they are holding a mouse ambush,
I
so...
will mobilize this card.
Yeah.
Which
even
is now
a-
a supporter.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Wow, this game is on a knife's edge.
I.
If I had seen the dominance from like the very beginning, I would have put the keep in one of the mouse clearings. And it kind of sucks that I didn't, but like I wasn't going for the dominance spec then.
Yeah, it's hard to justify going for dominance in a tournament game. I definitely
I
understand that
will-
perspective.
Yeah, 100%. It
to my base.
it's such a
but here
risky
you are.
play. Yeah, here you are.
Cats.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
no, he's not going to spend it. If he has an ambush, he's not spending an ambush here. There's no way he's spending an ambush here. I'm organizing.
I feel like this board state did just get
Don't-
really...
No,
He's
if-
not going to.
crazy.
He's not going to spend an ambush to protect a mouse clearing that doesn't matter for his dominance. He's going to know that it matters, and I can't move over here, so there's nothing of value that I can do with that.
but I have to swing in there now, and it's really rough. If I swing in there, he ambushes me. I lose another one. I have 1 bird in this clearing, so I'd only have 1 bird in the clearing.
Maybe it was a
Then I would have to
9,000
move
IQ play for AA round to leave
Maybe
one
If we leave it,
lightly defended clearing
Yeah,
there.
Just because he left 2 pieces doesn't mean he can't win.
It makes the table reevaluate their level of greed.
I have 5 birds over here, which means he has 8 pieces. The Vagabond would have
I mean, I
a
don't.
total of
I mean, they're calculating it out right now, so my hopes aren't that high, but
guaranteed.
it is
I know
interesting.
it's
It
super
could,
rough. It's
I mean, I don't
it
see a
could change the
world
calculus.
where this matters for Wooden Alliance unless Wooden Alliance plays greedy right now.
even if I
Like Wooden Alliance is
True.
in last place,
swing in there.
probably not just in terms of the score track, but actually in reality because the game is just accelerating too quickly, and nobody's feeding outrage or anything, and there's
True.
snares all near the base.
I'm
This-
swinging cats.
Oof. I worry that Trenzelore just got talked into doing Ccoyote's dirty work.
Yeah, this is looking
think
like a
it's
Crows
like-
win now.
I'm not
This
100%.
one decision is crazy. Although we do have to remember the
Yeah.
Trenzelore,
'Cause then I
author of one of the more
Okay.
I would say
Did you say you are battling me?
brutal backstabs that I've seen in a tournament
Any
game
ambush?
Yes.
earlier in this very game. So
This is better.
the fact that he is
Go ahead.
coordinating with the
There we go.
Corvids in this way.
Chat calling it payback.
Hit once.
Yeah.
and I organize. So
Okay, still gets the organize.
this cat right here if you want to field hospital it when your internet recovers.
Yeah,
Score 1 point.
best of both worlds, I guess. Kind of.
2 points away from activating my own bunny dominance. So, you know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It does give an undefended cardboard for Corvids to eat if that's an option for Corvids, if that's a
Nev
reality.
asking about the Corvid's win condition, I would say it's craft an item, probably coins, although a hammer would be pretty good as well.
So he has 8 pieces in this clearing. So I just need to put my birds there.
He's got to pick up 5 or 6 more points after that. Notice that the keep and the sawmills are not defended.
I mean, that's 4 points in cat cardboard across 2 clearings.
That allows you to plot.
But I think action-wise, there's just not enough
So I'm going
time to make that happen, right? Because it would take a
move twice. Sorry, I'm not flipping, and I have nothing to recruit, and I have nothing to craft. So just going straight to this. I will move twice.
maybe AA run just miscounted a little bit in that middle
Down
clearing,
a pile of birds
but
there.
now it's tied for rule in the top
I will
right,
move a third
and
time,
that undefended
and I will battle here. with my 4
recruiter
factions.
there is going to easily fall to the Tinker Sword.
Would you like to ambush me?
And here we go, attacking the
No,
keep,
go ahead.
picking up some much needed cardboard points. And
Two
that's
hits.
a 1-0. He's going to lose the
What
sawmills.
pieces would you like to lose?
Hmm.
Yeah, I got to lose the sawmills, right?
Right.
I assume there's going to be a battle against the Corvids in the top
Sounds
right.
great.
Going to want to recover those with
Yeah, points.
field hospitals.
I did. That's my whole turn.
And there we go. Dominance prevented yet again.
Well, not technically yet. Not until
Okay,
the Tinker goes and removes that recruiter.
Right. It ain't over until the Tinker sacks a recruiter. Although it's basically forced, right? Because you're
I mean,
you're
unless
the last player.
unless you choose to kingmate,
That's
like
all sorts of stuff going on.
Decoy could be swayed by a king-making argument. I think Aaron needs to pitch that right now. before
Right
everyone
now.
disputes.
now is the moment.
Yeah. Needed a little to take a second longer. I think Aaron needed to make the numbers work better. But at this point, you got to appeal to the.
Man, this is.
I mean, maybe actually, is there an argument that you say nothing and hope the table forgets?
It's never nothing.
I mean, you could always
Only start pleading once they take moves to stop it.
I mean,
I don't know. It seems pretty obvious to me.
I mean, I think so too, but
Depending on
you can
Honestly,
get.
I would just do it right away and just be like, yeah, like chips are down. Here's the
some
real
different options that I have here.
reason for you to leave it alone is let's deny
Definitely
a
doing
free
that.
pass to one of your
7
competitors.
items. 1, 2,
in the next
3,
round.
4, 5, 6, 7. No, it's all of them. That was easy.
Although, I mean, maybe you wait. I'm not sure. Yeah, the
All
Tinker's
right,
not
now
gonna
I
forget.
would definitely start pleading right now. The moment that pawn moves to that clearing, even for a moment, I open my mouth.
And again, that recruiter is undefended, so literally activating a battle will end the dreams of the cats here.
Right.
So just to make sure that we don't goof, this is 8 and 8. So all I need to do is take out that recruiter.
Yeah, I would be selling my soul,
Yeah.
my firstborn, whatever it takes right
we're
now.
gonna need to.
Yeah, I think he needed 9 in that top right, which still would have been possible for the Corvids, but it would have meant literally piling up
I'll make
every
you a
single
move if
crow
you come
on
here.
hand in one clearing,
Get it
which
on
makes
your
it way
next.
easier to battle them down.
Yeah,
Been,
I have to go there.
Interesting continuation there.
Just
But
trying to think if there's a way for me to like end up over here and then swing back, and I don't think that's
Tinker
I think that's it. I have to leave.
trying to craft a
Coyote
turn to
just
give them an
doesn't
advantage here. I
compete.
think they, once you take out the leader, it's the person right behind the leader who's going to jump up and win the game. And
At the moment.
I
Alright,
guess
so that's going to be
I
that.
want to see from the Tinker some
Um,
thought put into how to stop the Corvids after they've, gotten their
I
free
guess
dunk
we'll
on the
do what we
cats
have to
here.
do.
Yeah.
I'll swing for this recruiter. Would you like to ambush me?
Squid Mark, yeah. Choosing the Corvids looking like a real good choice here in this board state.
And that's 2 points.
Oh, yeah. Dom officially dead. Right there. It has happened.
Yeah.
You could always
This is a tough
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
okay.
tough moment for
Nice
Aaron for
over
sure,
there.
because that dominance is looking so promising. I mean, I guess the good thing is because of the
Actually, let me
concentration of
double check to make
crows,
sure this is right.
you could spend your turn just battling and then,
I mean,
hope
your
that you've
sawmills-
dispersed them enough.
Your sawmills are gone, so your plan now is you recruit, you battle, you
Prepare that torch.
battle some more.
Yeah,
But yeah, hopefully have a bird card to march in the end, take over that top mouse clearing.
I'm gonna
But
grab a crossbow
even still,
with day labor,
actually you don't even have to. Just recruiting and battling should be sufficient.
and that'll be 1 point.
Good mark.
And again, I think everyone's played a good game so far. It's just that with a sizable point lead, the Corvid's sitting at 24 points, ready
Right.
to just pounce on victory the next time the turn marker gets around to them.
I mean, it's like we said earlier that
Point there.
if the heat is drawn elsewhere, Corvids had the potential to race to win, and there is no bigger heat than a dominance play.
Yeah. It is a supernova in the world
If
of
I
Root.
swing
Just
on
like
it, I
your
get
eye is drawn to it.
points, right?
Everyone's got to calculate how to stop it every single
Crossbow, I get
turn.
1 point, so I'll swing on it.
Squidmark, I'm sorry you missed the gamble, but the gamble is still active. You can only have one at a time, so
So we'll just, we'll just crossbow it.
Sounds good.
That's why I asked these things.
No,
Okay.
makes sense.
Then I guess I'll draw 1.
Okay, that actually was a pretty important
Hit that vagabond.
plot to take out.
Yeah.
It did take out the second rabbit
We
crafter for the
have no
Corvids.
sawmills, so we don't get any wood. Very sad. We're not going to craft anything. So we have 3 actions to take. So I believe our first action is going to be
Come hit the tinker.
we're going to battle the Corvids in this mouse clearing.
Yeah, I'd say
Sounds good.
pretty unlikely. All right, and here come the battles from the cats.
Oh,
Trying to just
Oh.
target down.
it's
Ooh, a
terrible for us.
3-0. That is exactly what the
Hunter
cats
managed
need to make a
move
difference
back to
here.
This area, so they can.
I will have to.
And this is a game of
That's
inches.
partially why I
The
got
Corvids,
the
again, are looking to score
good
6
crossbow.
points on their turn
Something I
to
can use
secure the
immediately
victory, and that is
rewards.
not at all clear
That's
that they're going to
pretty
be able to do that.
Second, we are going to battle again.
Sounds good.
Wow, really
Actually, hold
whittling
on,
down the
that's a lie,
numbers.
That's a lie. Second, we're going to take a march. We're going to move. That's rough.
If he's hoping to
What?
fish a
Yeah,
bird
that's a
card
march.
out of the deck, I would actually take a
we're gonna
minute
take
and
a
look at the
march.
discard pile first if
Yeah,
you're
yeah, we're
going to
gonna
make that
battle
your
again.
strategy.
Sounds good.
Okay, just going to battle again. I think that's the more straightforward approach here.
I much prefer it because
3-2.
if there's any world where a march is on the table, we do it after battling
And
in case we field hospital, and then we can move those field hospital
Recruit.
troops.
There we go.
Great.
See, now look at the Corvid's presence. It is going to take a crazy amount of concentration to regain control over those clearings. I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
we are
you're
back.
joking. Wanted that ambush so badly.
We are back to a solid position for the cats.
I mean, all it took was 2 battles and 2 rolled 3s. How clutch is that in this point in the game?
Yep.
We'll check
That
this bag.
That or it's actually
And the merry-go-round continues. The
I wish.
dominance train
Really nice.
rumbles on. And it is back to
I like to think I
Trenzelore to
know
try
him
and
well
figure
enough
out
that
how to take the
I can
first
tell
step
he's
in
lying.
stopping the cat's imminent
Uh,
victory. Again, Trenzelore not even at 10 points yet, so I don't know how much sense it makes to
Figured.
spend all the effort in the world trying to make this happen. But we do see a revolt in a mouse clearing,
Down in that fox.
so some adjacency.
Oh, a
and
double
another
revolt.
officer.
Recruit now, Coyote.
Another revolt. Okay, one of the first times where we're seeing 3 bases on the lake map. I do like this play from the Alliance generally, especially when they're spread out like this. Means it's easier to get the
Alliance.
move and
So-
recruit. The move and organize actions
I
going.
can't place any
And I mean, who's going to punish the thinly defended bases when dominance is the ever-present threat? And you need that card draw, as strong as possible as Wooden Alliance right now to have any shot
That'd be the most
at this.
I've ever seen.
Definitely.
From
I mean, I like this a lot.
higher ones required you to
Yeah,
have,
Woodland Alliance getting ready to
supporters.
pick on
Yeah.
the bones of the Corvids
So-
here as they move in to try and sweep away the
Well.
cats. This is going to be
Organize, or else I can't
incredibly dicey
hit anything.
in a very literal sense. The Tinker is going to be the one who says yes or no to the dominance, I imagine. Corvids will do their best, but it's really going to come down to some
and
dice rolling here.
In this fox clearing up here.
4, 5, 6,
What a wild game.
10.
I truly thought this game was going to be over like about twice,
I'm
and yet here we are.
So that's 2 points. And
Yeah, something we didn't point out, the crossbow on the Tinker is going to make a big difference here.
It is. It is.
move and organize.
I will say though, there is a bit of a challenging aspect to this. The Tinker, look at where the Tinker
That's
currently
another 2
is.
points.
It's going to cost 2 boots to walk into a hostile clearing. The Tinker actually does not have enough boots to make it to the top right corner.
Yeah.
That's true.
Aaron, we're gonna have to-
That is going to mean that the Corvids will either have to somehow get the ferry over to the Tinker. There's no way to do it.
So here's the
Can't get to
thing.
the top right.
We can stop you again. But what's
Oh no, this is an oversight from the table. I think an oversight from the Tinker
slowly
actually.
getting pushed out because all I get to do is stop you every turn.
Yeah, Corvids are going to have to choose a different clearing to try and suppress, and those clearings are just
due to
heavy with cats. There's no
just
way.
accept that this is a lost cause and let us finish the game up. Is there any way we can do that? I think I have a chance of pulling ahead as crows, but if I spend every turn just stopping you, and the burden is they're helping, but it's mostly following me and they're scoring a lot for it. All that's going to happen is you keep me from winning while I do the same for you. So
I mean,
is there any
Where-
way we can advance?
where are you stopping me?
See, Coyote
Oh man.
asking AA Ron to basically give up.
Yeah, looking at your opponent and saying, I mean, you could just resign.
Maybe you put and make the Tinker do something. Because you can't be fully responsible for that.
I mean, I'm gonna.
Now, I don't know what you guys learned in UN class, but I don't think this is the way we negotiate, right?
So your argument is that you should
The gall. The sheer gall.
You know what? I will say, given the events that have happened in this game,
move out of there. You
do
let
not
me
blame
win,
Ccoyote one
we're
bit.
all happy.
The impossible has happened on multiple
'Cause
occasions.
All right.
There's
Well,
no. I mean,
I'm gonna keep play. I'm gonna keep stopping you.
I don't like how this is going, but yeah. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's just a rough thing. I'm not really.
I think
to keep this.
We
turn.
saw that the dice
Like,
really
after
settled
that,
this, right? I mean,
see
it was
myself spending the rest of the game.
Right. I mean, Stanley did not defend the Corvids here.
So, if I can have a word here,
My face hurts from this.
this is just wild. Yeah, no, I can't stop smiling. I love this
stop on
game.
the next turn, you don't actually have dominance on your turn, and we leave you alone for a turn to try to deal with Woodland somehow.
Deal with Woodland.
I don't even know, man. I have
Woodland
nothing.
Alliance isn't gonna win.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm done. I got nothing to say for this. This is just.
You slowed.
This
the
is
game
too
down really
insane.
hard when
The
it's-
Woodland Alliance has 0 supporters,
and I don't
rocking
think
not
that
a
we can
single
do anything
supporter.
about it if you're not willing to just admit I think basically.
I
you
think
have to
if
often
Ccoyote could have
you can
crafted
either
this turn, that would make a big difference.
allow
Has he
the
finished
rest
his
of us to
birdsong yet?
play, or
No, I don't think Ccoyote has done anything yet. I think he's just
Okay.
he's trying to sell this insane pitch to AA Ron. This pitch
He's
that I
feeling
would
it out.
honestly be kind of offended by in AA Ron's seat. Like,
Be like, bro, you're sitting on a win. You.
What?
I do not surrender. Your move.
I say you take the chance you have and force them to stop you. Because we could get a bunch of 0-0s.
Well, like Corvids aren't even battling me, so there's no like RNG involved. But I mean, like if you think, because I don't.
I feel like some friendships are ending on this stream or something.
I know,
Like-
we've truly entered a deep dark wood of
I do
table talk
kinda
here.
regret
This is.
going down this path.
I don't know where this ends.
Early play, and then it didn't, because that's how
Really
dominance
cool.
works.
I thought you had it.
Yeah, I did too.
It would have been amazing. And like, I'm
It would have been amazing. Doesn't he not still have it?
Right, I know, it-
A way to keep all of us in the game still.
The
I'm
key,
not sure what
the
that
key thing to point out
negotiation
is that top right
Well,
clearing
it's
is not
gonna
accessible
have,
by
like,
the Tinker,
the
so
actual actions
Corvids
aren't
would
gonna
have to
happen this
battle
turn because we got the problem here to deal with. And once we
4
do
times
that,
and roll
it's
2
gonna-
zeros
it's
every
gonna kick
time.
it to me, and then on my turn we can probably figure out what you're.
I
gonna
think
do
that's
with
the
your turn.
only continuation
Assuming
that
we actually
stops the cats cold.
So let's start off by recruiting there.
Okay, right. Yeah, okay, good. He has a mouse recruit. That's actually very helpful. Could potentially
These guys
deal a
like
bit of
this.
damage there. But it's got to be a knockout blow
Sorry.
or nothing.
right.
Um,
Oh, Granitap pointing out the Corvids can actually move 8 Corvids in there with 4 moves.
Vagabond
I can see 7.
crossbow.
Oh, here's 2.
I'm one. Actually, hold on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3.
Don't actually say that.
Ye-
I still only see
I
7.
see 7.
Hostile with that.
Okay, Grand Tap correcting to 7.
Yeah, no, the Tinker does not
Yeah,
have the
I did.
boots. I think he's had to pitch a boot at some point. Yeah, we see there's a boot down by his
really, really terrible.
crafted improvements box there. The satchel limit
Well, I mean, I can stop him. I just don't
playing a
think they're
factor in
gonna
this
want
game.
this turn,
The Tinker having to pitch a boot at one point or another,
which
in
I
order
guess
to
is what I have
continue.
do now.
and that single boot is making the
Yeah.
difference here.
All right, so action 1, action 2, 3, because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And then, yeah, matching the rule.
Yeah, but who stops him?
And that's my turn.
I think we're about to see our first dominance win of the tournament, Guerric. How
Well,
do you
no,
feel?
that's matching the cat's rule. That's enough to
Oh, they
stop
only
it.
have 7. They only have 7.
Now I have another thinking turn.
7 is enough. I was stuck in the land of 8.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. It's 8 and 8.
I didn't
It's
refresh my
not-
browser.
7
He did.
So, yeah, it's-
Wow. And the Corvids are frozen at 24 points. They spend their entire turn. They do not draw cards at the end. They do not pass go. They just stop the cats and pass the turn. Wow. The Insurgents getting a free hand to make some progress here. What do you think?
Actually getting it.
Is that going to affect the game?
I mean, I think what we're seeing here is a war of attrition between the Corvid's hand and the cat's, ability to recruit and battle, which it's just a question of how long does it go, and does that default to a Wooden Alliance win or a Tinker win, or does the stalemate break and either cats or Corvids?
Did you draw the bird ambush?
I think in a middle of the road type of scenario, there's at least 2 turns left before anybody wins. By
No
30
comment
points,
from
I mean.
Trent.
Right.
If the Corvids don't have another mouse card to spend, then we could see this dominance play work out. Also,
Yeah.
the keep is still hanging out, so
Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
Yeah, I
Trent
can
didn't
hear
get-
I think Tinker probably.
They're just waiting for me to attack.
I think there's a
might
good.
squeak it out. Tinker again is at 18 points. Let's do a quick recap here. Tinker sitting at 18 points with an alliance at 13. Corvids are at 24.
Oh, okay, cool.
None of them are winning on their next turn.
Yeah,
Almost
I really
definitely.
think this is the last time Corvids can stop cats like this.
Yeah.
Uh,
They've spent their resources for sure.
I think it's fully within Aaron's what's the word I'm looking for? I think Aaron wants this block to happen so he can wipe Corvids and then sit there pretty much unstoppable, I think.
One would hope. I mean, it really kind of depends on the Tinker's board positioning as well. Remember that the Tinker is wielding a crossbow, which can...
And 2 swords.
And 2 swords, which can
Just
really hack through a good number of cats. Man, this is so much on a knife's edge.
either-
Still.
Like I can try to burst for points. I can try to attack woodland. I can.
Yeah, I
kill
think-
cats.
I mean, maybe taking out an alliance base is the play right now. Although that would take him far away from the relevant cats clearing, which could
So
be an
Aaron,
issue.
What are you going to do on your turn? I guess that's
Yeah, I mean, it's really... I think so much of Aaron's game right now depends on
I don't know.
how greedy Decoy decides to be.
Like, what?
Ooh, this is a big turn, yeah.
So we probably need to stick around to help.
Yeah, I cannot go too far away, which means
I mean, I don't want to give away the win by like just going and doing other stuff and not trying myself. But at this point, like, I'm starting to lose hope that like this would ever work. So
Oh, no.
The
Hey,
alliance
Aaron,
is
you're...
approaching the magic number where the Woodland Alliance is threatening. But again, look at the supporter stack.
I guess yeah, you're
Right.
It's empty.
before me.
They're not threatening to win.
Yep.
At least not
So,
this turn.
like,
Not this
the
turn.
easy answer is a slip over.
Aaron's close to giving up right now. I think this is...
On woodland.
I think this is the edge of his success. You know, he just needs to
It
sit tight, wipe
really
those
is.
Corvids, and I think he's sitting pretty.
It is up for grabs still. And the keep is still alive. That's so crucial. He made the decision to lose the sawmills instead of the keep. That was a great decision. The keep is still alive. If he has a single mouse card in his hand, he could still save this game.
Would put you at risk of not being close enough to actually help. And cats are points too.
Yep.
Which
Yeah,
would
cats are
make it
points.
more solvable
I
in the
don't
future
know.
if you
I don't know
use
what the
it
Tinker
better.
does here
But if you
to
take
try and
that
secure the
alliance, it
win.
helps you because alliance is starting to get pretty powerful.
I think Tinker gambles on Corvids having
Even if I do go for the dominance.
another turn of stopping cats in them and goes for the maximum points and just tries to race.
Warriors. He just recruits them back with
'Cause
one
if-
action.
If Tinker could do it in 2 turns,
Lining
that's
up shuffling lawn chairs.
that race maybe works.
I think
Yeah,
in a good
That's what I'm saying. Is like
I think something good to think about is
I think it's
once the
both
Tinker goes
ways to
hostile
be
with the Alliance,
attacking.
every sympathy becomes
Killing,
worth
we need
2
to take out
points.
Right.
4 cats a turn.
So taking out a sympathy and a base after crossbowing a warrior,
I
Is
can't do that.
like
though.
it's a good chunk of points, right?
So
3 or 4 points.
Sword and crossbow.
And
2
every sympathy
swords
after that is
and a
2.
crossbow. So I can slip up to here, I go to here, and I deal max of
Ooh,
one.
we're talking about hurting cats.
Let's call it exactly 4 hits. He'll
Yeah,
spend a
I could do
recruit and
5.
get those 4 hits back, or 4 cats back immediately, and I take damage. Which
I mean, Squidmark, it's
Yeah.
kind of a prisoner's dilemma.
so
like-
I think what we try to do here is split the difference. So we're gonna slip up here.
That's a good point as well. Colonel Cabbage pointing out that any sympathy removal on the
Craft a
board
sword.
kind of prevents the Corvids from catching it as well. Although because of turn order, the Corvids go right after the Alliance. The maximum sympathy spread would
2
be,
points.
on the buffet for the Corvids to feast on if they wished.
We'll tap 1. Oh god, I can't see my meeple.
Yeah,
So
the
move over
Tinker,
here.
classically one of the most difficult
And
meeples to
then
keep track
fight
of on the board.
woodlands amount. So
It's just that specific shade of like warm
This is
charcoal that
exactly
blends
what I
into
wanna do.
everything.
That kind of sucks, but whatever.
Okay, I think
Tap the
it
boot, and we're gonna aid woodland 1 card.
okay, grabbing a
we-
point.
Did we craft that sword and just leave it off to the side of the map there? Is that what's happening right
Guess
now?
that's what happened.
Goodbye, Aaron. Again.
It's like
This is yours, right?
item gate, but it's more like item front porch because it's just not all the way in there yet. Okay, there we go. Now we got it.
Yeah, I think Coyote just grabbed it and moved it over.
I'm gonna swing, or not swing. I'm gonna crossbow to remove the warrior.
I don't love doing it to this base.
Hostile.
Yeah, I mean,
And I'll
this
swing
is
on
the
you.
one place that if you wipe it out, the cats can easily reinforce and make it.
Right, why
That
not
much
go
more
do it to the
difficult.
bunny base or something?
Okay, I take 1 hit.
I mean, I guess it was for the aid, but...
Let's do 3 more of those. Or 2 more of those.
And we'll try again.
Okay, big risk right now.
Yeah.
Not denting the cats even a little bit. Okay, 3-2 is a good roll. Gonna pick up some points here.
Yes.
I guess I lose.
Picking up 2 points.
Because you're taking everything. So,
Yep, and grabbing the base first, which is the correct decision.
Yep.
Round it up. So I got 2 left.
Yeah,
Puts Vagabond at 23. Just 7 points to go.
yeah. Woodland Alliance down to
And
two
my sympathy.
two officers, meaning that they will have limited impact on the board state for their next turn. Yeah, if the cats can, get out of their next turn with a good board presence, I don't know what the Corvids are supposed to do. Like, give up their game entirely? But look at this. Here we go. The Vagabond at 23 points, just
no,
1
it's,
point behind the Corvids.
And I mean, they're sitting on 2 points. They could battle that sympathy and get up to 25.
You any stuff.
And remember, the Vagabond's going to get another round.
Right.
Just do that.
Right, that's the thing.
And I'll save the last sword.
And who's
draw
going to
card.
battle the Vagabond? My God. This could be a Tinker win.
To me.
I have no idea who's going to win.
Oh, darn.
I always forget about that.
Wait, what just happened?
I think advanced the turn, but we're missing Aaron from the table. The
How are your days?
internet connection on the moon is
Yeah,
still a
I
bit
was-
spotty, it turns out.
I was slightly confused by what he did with his items. I thought that torch was sitting in damage,
Yeah.
and he moved it out.
So Vagabond might have it next turn.
Yeah. I don't think I have it.
Did he auto repair the torch? I'm seeing from Granitap.
Right,
That's what you
that's-
claimed as well, right?
That's what I thought I saw. I thought I saw him toss the hammer and repair the torch.
Yeah, and Guerric, this is not in any way to critique your approach to the rules enforcement,
Yeah, I
but
think
genuinely, it is
manipulate
so hard to keep track of the
Vagabond
item fiddly
with it.
bits on TTS.
Oh, I know.
I mean, they're
Like, we're really relying on those Vagabonds to be
policing the
uh,
cats.
honest about it. But, I mean, maybe just like
And it is Tinker after
some
all.
kind of slip up. I mean, we see that he's been tossing items, but did he just auto repair one of
Dogs are
them
such weird
instead?
things to
I don't
games.
know.
I don't know.
So let's see.
He repaired the torch and then tossed the exhausted hammer. Okay, that explains it.
Well, that can't be the case because he crafted that sword this turn, which requires both hammers.
If you're winning
Right.
in a turn.
Oh,
So-
no.
puts them
So he couldn't have
Something
repaired.
has happened.
need 5 more points
Yeah.
from
Oh, they threw a
cardboard.
hammer away. Interesting.
They can get
Brinzerbang making an interesting suggestion. Do we think Ccoyote might be ready to hand the game to the cats
on my sympathy.
rather than see the
Ah.
Tinker
They
win?
have it.
I don't know. When you're sitting there off asking the cats if the cats are willing to just give up for a turn or something, and that doesn't sound like you're ready to throw in the towel. That sounds like
Right. That would be a solid 180 there, huh?
Try. Man, I was in such a good spot. I could have probably just eaten your sympathy to win if I hadn't been dealing with these cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ccoyote realizing how tantalizingly close 30 points is sitting.
I can try to wipe out some of your
The
sympathy on my
crucial
turn.
element here is that
I have
the
that.
Corvids have had to exert at the end of their turn for the last 2 or 3 rounds.
right. Their
Meaning their
resources are
hand-
dwindling.
Allow you to
Is so small now. It's only 3 cards, and they've had no new
You win
cards
by just
for
farming
like
my
3
sympathy.
rounds.
And they recruited Mouse the past 2 turns, correct? I mean, how
Yeah.
many cards in your hand could have been Mouse?
have a craft
Yeah,
and be
I think-
able to actually draw.
I think their ability to concentrate force
So I don't-
where it matters is exhausted. If they had something to craft, we would have already seen it. You know, I think they're sitting on duds
All
right
all the
now.
misses, I took out this base.
Yep. We've been talking about who can win.
All right, Guerric, do we think the Tinker can win on their turn if it gets back around?
Oh goodness.
All right.
Because they're probably only getting like 3 or 4 points from Despot Infamy, right?
None. No crafting.
I mean that.
Have 3 actions.
I mean that
Actually,
repaired
6
that
because
repaired
of the,
torch helps because it's a 2-point quest. You
Oh,
know?
right.
Tinker's pretty well
Right.
in winning distance.
They could give a speech.
He'll win
For 2
his next
points.
turn.
That's a huge deciding factor, actually.
He can just take out my 3 sympathy.
We tossed the second hammer, chat. So yeah, there's no coins.
So you
Yeah,
actually
I got none.
We could maybe craft the hammer.
win in
for 2 points.
Probably.
There's also a boot and 2 bags left,
Oh, you
which are 1 point
definitely
each.
turns.
I mean, it feels in
You need
reach.
2 officers though. That helps a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of cards though. 6 cards. How do you have 6 cards?
I really don't know why we didn't remove that sympathy.
Damn.
When we have the refreshes
Yeah.
that we have, that's just... It's wasting a refresh, which means you're losing an action, you know?
Yeah, I don't understand.
We're going to.
Well, so they're refreshing 7,
Can you
right?
Place this base on top of that snare. I never thought about that. Like, it
Yeah.
builds it up and then goes
I'm
down.
pretty
And they've got
sure
7
if it was all
exhausted,
enemy
so
pieces
I,
first,
you know.
I'd feel terrible if it didn't.
But I mean, you can optimize
I mean, it's like 5 turns ago.
your actions.
And
You can,
just remove all enemy pieces.
you know, not I don't know. I don't know.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Grabbed it first.
I guess it would have invited the cats into that clearing to battle you, maybe. Because at this point, the cats may have to
Sympathy
reposition
turns,
and
that wasn't an
figure out
issue.
what to do. I guess I would just spend my whole turn battling the Corvids if I'm cats here.
So, Rose, I can try to do something about.
Hey, Aaron now sounding like he's on the moon.
But if I do,
Hey, Aaron, tuning in from his ham radio in a classified location.
I'm not sure what to do.
I think Aaron needs to just battle the Corvids.
Yeah,
and do
just
the
just
direct
kill the
thing.
Corvids. Kill
Go
the
for your win
Corvids.
condition.
Right.
It's, you know, dominance is surprisingly complicated for being simple, but you got to do the simple
Pretty
thing.
much has to go to the forest, right?
No
I
comment.
mean, if you give the Corvids a turn, they could do it though.
It's pretty much guaranteed.
Just
that.
wipe the Corvids.
Can't really
Recruit. Sit there. Do your thing.
Yeah, you got to at least get control of that
Oh,
clearing.
they have
Like,
no supporters.
got to battle once, got to recruit.
I blew up
Yeah,
the
Lions-
base.
I think when turn most likely.
Yeah,
where's
I
it?
definitely don't win on
It's
my
at
turn.
999.
Without any supporters,
Okay.
I don't have it.
Aaron getting the high score for ping once again at 999.
Someone needs to run this boy some fiber internet or something.
On this game.
You're
We
always
need
the
a
clock.
Saint Bernard with an Ethernet cable to
Still
find this remote
15
location.
True of the Tinker. And the clock on the Tinker has not stopped.
Yeah, Stuff by Rudy making a good point that sometimes if you get knocked down after a Dom play, you gotta spend a turn just like consolidating and then kind of like reemerge and go for it again after people kind of
Okay.
feel like they've stopped you.
I
But
think
the
I
thing is
know what I'm
Aaron's
going
been so
to
close to making it work every time.
Right, and I think the hard part was his consolidation turn, like his build back up turn. Really, a big part of it just sort of inadvertently got him the Dom again. Anyway, I don't know that there was a way for him to build up that wouldn't have required regaining rule and becoming the Dom threat again. And it doesn't make sense to stop and do that right now because the game's going to be over at that point. Despite what sort of Ccoyote was pleading for Aaron to do. So I think Aaron's just locked in on this path of gain Dom every turn and let the table stop him.
To take care of both.
Definitely the correct approach, in my opinion. force the table to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
it hard for them.
Because, I mean, it's been a
And
perverse
here-
prisoner's dilemma the whole time. It required cooperation from the table. That could have, like, somebody could have gotten greedy and broken away. Somebody could have gotten tired of dealing with it and just let it be. You see that
Right.
sometimes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
The Tinker is the one kind of ultimately benefiting from the
Yes.
attention on the cats here.
I mean, that's why Ccoyote was pleading so desperately earlier.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
I'm
Sort
still
of.
I'm still gonna be on voice chat because I got it hooked.
Chad, I never said this would be a short game. I was one of the ones who was saying it was going to be a long game.
Yeah, I think we did have some opinions weighing in towards the start here that was saying this is either going to be really short or
Really
very
long. And I was in the long
And,
camp.
it's definitely trending towards the latter for sure. Although the dominance play popped at exactly 10 points, kind of suggested that it was going to be a short game, and that has been foiled in the most elaborate way possible.
I mean, that's the thing with Dom, is it's a gamble. It very well could have been a short game if it had just succeeded,
Just attack Corvid.
but it didn't. So far.
Yeah, Vet Phalanx pointing out that the sympathy token in the kind of top center mouse clearing
If I were to, so let's
may have been left behind to disincentivize the cats from moving there to hit the Tinker. I think that's exactly right. It's being used as a shield a little bit by the Tinker.
Stop somebody, because if I battle you here, then likely it's either me or Tinker that wins on their turn. Like, who are you going to stop? Because I don't think you'd have the power to do both.
Squidmark asking me directly about the early timing window for dominance being the strongest. I think I still believe that that's the case, and I think evidence for it is here. Like, it almost worked a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that was missing from this is the second round. Aaron needed to reposition his forces a little bit more exactly. I think there was
try to stop both of you, but
the fact that the Corvids could consolidate their forces and
probably you.
tie for rule in the top right.
That is not what I wanted to hear, but, you know.
He also probably
it
needed.
meant that the game could continue.
He also
you know?
probably needed to hedge his bets during setup and put the keep on a mouse clearing. Like, he didn't necessarily need to commit to it from setup, but he needed to at least
It's kind of
better facilitate its option.
Yeah, agreed.
but it's also
The thing
not
is I think a lot of the pieces were in the right spot, right? All the recruiters are in mouse clearings.
Right.
You know, they're all connected. He had a really good distribution.
Yeah, think of
Um,
the fans. Think of the fans. You know, they're here for an entertaining game. Wouldn't a dominance play be pretty entertaining? You know, think of the fans.
Gooey Kabloo, I think he was maybe short one bird card to do the battling that would have been really good that round.
where I didn't really get to play
Yeah.
in the game, and I don't want to reward that.
Right.
I think that's a fair
a
perspective.
fair point.
I think we reached the point where they're negotiating
To win.
who to let
Actually,
win.
I mean, I just want to win.
Yeah, they're trying to cement their legacy
Actually,
on the
I don't
route
know why I came up with that.
psychic landscape here, and you know,
Yeah.
to be honest, like they could king make right now. That is an absolutely
There's a
feasible
chance that
possibility,
you
especially given the state of the
we
tournament
managed to
um,
stop the Tinker
as it pertains to
and you
two of the
win,
players
so
here who are sitting on
do things
wins.
best. Don't
We could see that
don't
be a
tolerate
thing.
too much.
Squidmark, hashtag crabs in a bucket. Yeah.
So, 3.
That should have been the real name of this game.
No.
Crabs.
And Riley, is Dom officially dead? That is the question. It is. It has been prevented by an inch. 3 times.
And like make sure that
I think this is the last inch. If Aaron just committed, wiped the Corvids, I think the table would be very, very hard pressed to stop it again. And it would just come down to whether
unless someone else
Tinker could outrace that, you know, win on Tinker's next turn. I mean, I think that's what it comes down to. But I think there's a lot of psychological warfare at play here, breaking down Aaron's morale for that.
The way the board currently stands, the Tinker will win
Okay.
on his turn.
Here's what we're gonna do.
I can do 2 quests.
Unless the Woodland Alliance or the Corvids do something to disrupt it.
We're going to
I think Aaron should just
Yeah,
fly
use
the
our
mission
first
and just
action.
battle those
We're gonna use
Corvids.
our first
I agree.
action to battle the Corvids here.
There we
Sounds
go.
good.
No ambush. Okay.
2-1, decent.
2-1.
Not quite what I wanted, but it works.
Yeah, I would say the most average roll en route.
Assuming
Yep.
you can recruit
fight me.
That's plus I just gave you.
Come at me, chat. It's the most average roll en route.
But that's one less warrior that you'll have. Assuming you do that.
Yeah, if only the cats had more actions, then they could deal with the Tinker as well.
I think I need to battle you again. So second.
Someone was asking, I think it was North Abbott asking who has won previous games. The previous winners for this game are Ccoyote and Trenzelore.
The more I look at, the more I don't think we can really stop Tinker. I think the more you can hit it, the better.
Right. I'm not gonna battle. I'm not gonna finish you off there because I feel like I myself can't send him to the forest, but we can see what happens.
I mean, I totally agree with this. Why be the one to police Tinker when you can pass the buck to Corvids?
Yeah, we're gonna.
You know?
So that was.
Well, the added benefit from attacking the Tinker, though. Oh, this is actually really a clutch bird card here because you can march into that clearing.
Okay. I guess we just have to fully commit.
Cough up a card to the Alliance, but you are gaining control over another mouse clearing,
You
right?
could give the Woodland Alliance 2
Even if the
mice
Corvids
so
manage
they
to spend
can
their
hit the
turn
Tinker.
recovering one of the clearings,
do
you know,
that.
you'll have
That'd be
control
great,
over all
too.
4.
That's actually pretty spicy. Didn't consider that.
Yeah, that bird card does change the landscape of what Aaron can do here.
That is pretty clutch. Okay,
Um,
so this game is
It
live,
does
you guys.
accelerate the clock really hard on Woodland if you do that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think
No, Woodland is
What?
not going to win on their turn.
with or without that.
Woodland has no supporters. Feeding them one supporter is not going to
There's no way
matter.
next turn, even
Yeah.
with those 2 supporters.
I think that would make you just weak enough that you might not.
Why
be
are we talking about
able to
2
do that
supporters?
when they hit you.
No, they have none.
It might force you to have to go, and I leave.
I
This
think
as it is, might
a
force you
single
to go to
decent hit on the
pass
Tinker
from those.
could
You
be
could just march
the
in
difference between
twice.
winning and losing.
Right.
They need both of the
Switch bird
boots.
card,
They need all the
march from
swords.
here, march from here, and then battle the Tinker, and all the
Okay.
2 mouse cards.
One march could give them 2, but it doesn't need
I don't
to.
have any mouse
You could just do the march in such a way that it only gives 1.
Bird card.
So-
Yeah,
so
just
why
march
would you-
south and then back up?
I do have 2 birds.
Why would you do it in such a way that you
Damn ambush you
feed
did
twice?
in all game.
Yeah. This is a sequencing puzzle.
And I
This
have
is very
to spend
easy.
it because like I.
Oh, suggest
Close
feeding
enough
2
to
in
where,
order
like,
to
if
revolt.
I
Oh.
shouldn't be talking out loud. I just need to do what I need to do.
We're more than open to hearing you.
We've all been talking
gonna-
a lot this game.
This is
We're gonna
crazy.
spend both of these.
Okay, gonna spend another bird
This is
card.
what happens.
Actually,
We're
that
gonna
is
spend both
interesting.
of those for 2
This
more.
game is
This
insane.
gives him a recruit as well.
Oh, Waterman, this game is insane.
I'm just sitting here stunned. Like,
Marching.
this is a gift to the cats, and I hope they don't.
Actually, I don't have any cards to give you, but you can see what we have. We're gonna march.
All right.
Ooh,
So I just-
that's interesting. Hold on.
I hope they don't squander this opportunity.
Uh,
Although I really do think they have to
so
punch
again,
the
I'm
Tinker
gonna
for
put these
sure.
Moves in a different order. I'm
Okay.
gonna move up here. So
They have to get cats in that clearing regardless.
Well, you know
Mouth
that
is-
you have to take 2 moves into here in order for it to, like 2 distinct move actions into here.
And here's the reason they need to have cats in that clearing. They have
I'm
to.
not planning on letting you.
They have to force the Tinker to spend an extra boot to get
Okay.
back to a free
I just
sympathy,
can't actually hit the Tinker
because
because
those
I
sympathy
can't
tokens
revolt
are
there.
2 points each,
Mhm.
remember?
Mm-hmm.
And the Tinker's sitting at 23. That would get the Tinker to
guys.
29
Those are
points
2
off the
guys.
current amount of
I think
boots
doing
if
3
there's
damage
no
is the only way
cats
to hit the Tinker hard enough.
in that mouse clearing. For more fast math, come check out my YouTube channel at Waterman121.
Yeah, we're gonna take a march here, and then a march over here, and I'm gonna bring. Let's see.
Anyone who likes Root should check out Waterman's channel. His stuff is great.
Yeah, lots of puzzles for this exact type of situation where you're like in a fraught end game and trying to like figure out what to do. It's a good time.
This many here. You can go ahead and.
Okay,
see
AA
the
run
cards. That was all
should
one.
pause and just actually do
See
the math
cards. I
here.
have none that match.
Yep.
And then I have a last action. We're gonna use
Okay.
this to
I don't know.
recruit over here.
Oof.
We're not going to battle Tinker?
Take 2, and we're
What?
Not gonna battle, just gonna recruit.
Recruit a single warrior?
Side, I think. I don't like it, but I don't see any other
You
way
should
to
have
victory
battled.
for me. So, you know,
I mean,
Hey,
even
Ron,
just
you
battle
missed your shot,
Corvids if
dude.
you're gonna.
That sucks because the card I drew was a mouse. So if I'd gotten a second one, there's a decent chance I could have actually revolted. But
I don't know.
I can't show any sympathy.
I
It's probably
feel like the
fair
way
that
of the
he
sword was
decided
the
he's going to craft
approach there for
these
Tinker,
three
because I mean,
things
even shaving off a
4 or
couple of
5
those
points.
items would have made it somewhat in doubt. But as
Right.
it currently stands, at
believe I
least
still
the
have some
movement
give
is
to Bunny.
uncertain.
I
But the
have
fact that he's got the
the
crossbow, he can go and hit that
mouse. Oh, I
base,
can't
no
craft the
problem.
second. No, I
It's
have 3
he.
bunny. I
It's
have
up to
3 bunny
Ccoyote
and a
to
mouse,
king make, I
so
think.
8 coins, a boot, and a bag. It should put me at 18.
Jeez, I have no idea. I mean, I don't think that improved AA1's chances of winning the dominance victory, other than the same way we've always said, which is convince Ccoyote to king make.
Train and train.
Yeah, Vet Phalanx, I agree. I think moving the cat ball into that clearing just to get revolted on would be crazy.
And
But he could have done it with 2 cats to
I
try
still
and
don't think
pump
this
up
is
the
enough to put
alliance.
me over the edge.
I still think that was kind of a crazy plan.
Spend,
I agree. It's an RNG dependent plan, which doesn't make it very
move,
strong in my
and
opinion.
organize down in this fox.
Oh man, I really wish the alliance would
for
have
3 points.
marched or moved rather some of their warriors into those nearby sympathetic clearings by the
And
Tinker. I think they're overlooking
2
the
actions
threat.
left, so I will recruit.
Okay, well at
Yeah,
least they're
there's-
preventing the auto loss of their base, but
And
I mean they're really taking a big risk right now.
I don't think I'm stopping the Vagabond here.
I think you can if you really want to, but then
I think I
cats
could, but like, yeah, I feel like cats kind of threw me out of the game, and Woodland Alliance lied to me.
I mean, I was already thrown out of the game.
A single tear rolls
Wait.
down the cheek of
Doing
every
everything I
viewer.
can to, like, feel
You-
confident.
You single-handedly
I know it
spent this game stopping cats turn after turn, and you're going to blame the cats for that.
Had I battled the Tinker here, which I would have liked.
Garric, this just goes to show Root is the most beautiful game ever
You
created.
to stop me. Had I battled only you, which I ended up doing, you know.
I will say, who wants to spend all that money on
Yeah,
tickets to
stop
Cirque du
me.
Soleil when you can
It
see
takes
mental
everything you have to stop
gymnastics
one of us.
in the game of Root?
Police
I don't.
And
I can't handle this.
who's been nicest to me the whole game. Like,
Are you really going to
and
let a
has been
Tinker
really-
win, though, and not a dominance victory?
Yeah.
the dominance victory stopped him from winning. Like he was in a pretty good spot.
Come on.
Like, it doesn't feel good, but like,
Honestly, Katare is correct.
I
Just
feel
hit
like
the
the
Tinker and
Buffalo
let the
just
cats
maximized my
win,
own
for
points
the
at
love
the
of
time.
God. Give the people their Guerric bucks, okay?
This is breaking me. This is breaking me. I'm at my wit's end here.
Guerric, I'm so glad that I was available to commentate on this game with you, because I do think that an individual watching this game would have gone completely insane by this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
2 pieces of cardboard.
Ah, man.
I mean, I think it's been 4 turns and I've earned, in the last 4 turns, I've earned 2 points or something.
Yeah, Ccoyote really just wrestling with the fact that he's sacrificed his game to stop the cats, and that the insurgent factions have completely taken advantage of that opening to make
There's
progress
no
in their
way
own
this is
game.
points still.
And while they're not
This room.
beating him in terms of points, they are definitely winning in
Right.
terms of board position
I'll throw this
and
out
card economy.
to recruit.
So here we go. There's no more mouse recruit, like you mentioned,
Oh,
Garric. You
victory.
predicted that. Instead,
Yep.
we're seeing a fox recruit.
I'll
And this
throw
is just
1,
not going to be sufficient to stop the dominance play unless you get
2,
godly rolls in that
3.
top right mouse clearing, and that even is not going to be enough to stop it.
I will.
So I think the Corvids have to pivot here.
I mean, the Corvid play has to be hit Tinker once to force Tinker to try and deal with the cats or something. I don't know. This is.
Yeah, I think that's got to be it, right?
Talk you into taking out the Tinker.
No.
The seat.
This move.
The seat order of these factions is not helping the anti-dominance alliance here. you know.
Very much so,
Depending on
yeah.
what- I'll just not gonna talk.
I mean, Trends and I would go to round 3. Decoy gets a win and goes to
Oh, we're bringing out the meta knowledge here.
Okay, great. Yeah, this should have come up already. I think
yeah.
this is Ccoyote's chance to
I don't think so. I'm going to attack this.
kind of lock in a level playing field here.
An ambush.
Fantastic. You may have this card.
All right.
And honestly, something that simple does go a long way to preventing the
going
Tinker
to
from just
attack.
automatically winning.
This Sympathy.
No ambush.
You may look at this card.
Because remember, all sympathy is worth 2 points to the Tinker.
And
Right.
At this
I
point
would
in the
kind of
game.
like to see that bunny sympathy get removed.
And attack.
Maybe we can just deny
Go ahead.
Tinker the win via removing the sympathy.
But even still,
And
the Woodland Alliance is on the doorstep of victory.
As
well.
It's,
This is a little bit awkward.
They did not stop the dominance, so Decoy has to find the win right away.
You took away involved that.
Yep,
So now I
that's
have to
right.
Look at this again.
Corvid's
There's
just
gotta be a way, but I have to find it all over again.
making life extremely complicated for the Tinker here.
really, I love that.
Again, the fact that the Tinker's rocking just 2
Hey.
boots.
Water
Makes
where's-
this-
where's the Waterman's rule? Where's the Waterman's rule?
All right, we're
There we go.
those of you viewers at home who
I
have
want
not
to-
seen this
I want
asset
to
yet,
No.
first of all, welcome to
It's a
2022. It's
Tinker.
nice to
You-
see
you
you
can't
all.
support a Tinker
Why
victory.
you just said that in like this is live, okay? That just got recorded. You saying you want the Tinker to win. You're never gonna live that down.
Hey, very fair stated. You forced me to spend my entire game stopping.
oh my god, I can't hear this.
didn't force you to do
Alliance-
it.
I cannot hear Ccoyote do
I
this.
think it's completely justifiable that if I can't win,
This is victim blaming of the highest order.
Agreed. Yeah. No. I think Nev was the one who pointed out that in terms of emotional damage, I think they've been rolling 3s all game.
I never had an issue with the team.
Focus, they didn't do the
If I-
revolt.
If I had a
That
sub with me,
I think I just have to
I
make
need a
sure
sandwich.
that I'm not walking through. Means I don't slip. So that's going to be one. It's going to be
Truthfully, the
point,
prop
2,
that I have in
3,
that original photo is a guitar, so I should get a guitar.
move
that happen.
4, 5. Move.
That's correct, and everyone out there should also subscribe to Guerric's channel for the best root content on the entire
Not gonna,
internet.
Slip.
that's very sweet of you to lie like that. But thank you.
Guerric, you'll let me win if I play dominance in the next game we play together, right? Remember, this is public. You're on stream.
Craft last bag. It's 24.
Just grifting for
We're
root
gonna
victories here, ladies and
swing
gentlemen.
on
You've
that,
entered-
and that's gonna be
What
2
is this?
points.
Close to hour 3 of this root game. It's only been 2.5, but we have really entered the twilight zone
I don't
here.
That.
I don't know how they managed to squeeze 4 hours into 2.5.
Oh yeah. Well, they might as well. They might as well go over there, because the game is over if I don't somehow make it. That'll be
Okay, picking up a
26.
couple points from the sympathy.
Yep.
Tinker goes to 26 points.
on
This
the
is
move.
the crucial turn here. Stepping over back into this rabbit clearing.
No ambush this
Going to
time.
pick up another sympathy for 2
All right,
points.
that'll be 28.
Hitting 28. Can he find the last 2? Remember, he is rocking.
Move again. Up here, and we'll do the last quest for 2 points.
Oh, questing for
Yeah,
2.
I mean, it's that quest we
points.
talked about
And
where
there it is.
I don't
That
know what
was
happened with that
decisive.
torch.
My heart rate's about 170 right now.
Man, I do not want to watch this one back.
Oh man.
It really did come down to the torch.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
mean,
Players
I'm
saying they're not going to
speechless.
watch.
I'm speechless.
For a couple weeks.
But good game,
What a
Decoy.
wild
I have
game.
paid the people. Wow.
Everyone in the
What a
chat,
game.
I'm so
Well played,
sorry.
by the way, Decoy, you were
The
were
Guerric Buck
slowly
stock
going
market has
forward.
just seen its worst day
And
of
Aaron,
the
that
entire
was
year
an
so
amazing
far.
play
I
that
think we were
blew
all
us
betting
all.
on the Cats. It's
That was really
53K against 19K. The big winners here. Anyone else?
Play was good for it.
Yeah, a payout of 3.78 for every 1 coin. That is
Yeah, you should have been on the ground floor there. I'm sorry, everybody else. You should have
I
invested in
respect you for
Ethereum.
going for it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
man.
Coyote, I hope you'll play games.
Well, Waterman, thank you so much for joining me for this experience.
All right. Good.
Absolutely, Guerric. It was a trial of emotional endurance, and I could not have spent it with a better co-host.
Thank you so much. It has been so great to have you. You kept me sane through this. Let's go ahead and congratulate the players and shut this down.
Yeah, I like that my response to it was to just snare you on both sides.
Yeah.
Well, good game, everyone. Thank you for that wonderful experience. Congratulations to Decoy for pulling out the win. Thank you, everyone. Let's see. Ccoyote, Trenzelore, and Decoy, we will see you in round 3. Aaron, unfortunately, by my records, this has eliminated you, but thank you so much for competing in the tournament. It has been a wonderful pleasure to have you.
No problem.
It's been a pleasure to have you, Waterman. It has been a pleasure to have all of you people watching. We will see you all next weekend, Friday at 6 p.m. for our next game. So we'll catch you then. Have a great one.
Yes, good night. Good game, everyone.
Good game.